podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. This show originally aired on the Premier Networks Coast to Coast on Saturday, November 13th, 2021. This is episode 1843. Enjoy. The Tech Guy podcast is brought to you by Udacity. Udacity offers online education that's geared toward people looking to take their tech knowledge to the next level. Get the in-demand tech skills you need to advance your career. Visit udacity.com/twit to learn more. And by userway.org. Userway ensures your website is accessible, ADA compliant, and helps your business avoid accessibility-related lawsuits. The perfect way to showcase your brand's commitment to millions of people with disabilities. It's not only the right thing to do, it's also the law. Go to userway.org/twit for 30% off Userway's AI-powered accessibility solution. And by Bandwidth. Bandwidth understands the challenges enterprises face when migrating their communications to the cloud. That's why Bandwidth launched TWiT for Microsoft Teams, the only complete solution for direct routing and Microsoft-certified E911, available direct from a carrier. Designed to simplify your migration to Teams direct routing. Request your proof of concept at bandwidth.com/twit. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Yes, time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography, smartphones, smartwatches, augmented reality, virtual reality, real reality. 8888 Ask Leo is the phone number if you want to talk high tech. I am joined, as always, on a Saturday by my good friend and tech guy junior, Mikah Sargent. Hello, Mikah.
Hello, Leo.
Do you know what a BOGO filter is?
Buy one, get one filter?
Oh, that's good. BOGO. Yeah. Actually predates that by about 20 years. It's a spam filter. And I always assumed BOGO meant bogosity. I think one must have a bogosity filter these days with email. Do you notice that?
I don't know what bogosity means, I have to say.
You know what bogus is?
Oh, yes.
Bogosity is the nature of the having of the being of the bogusness. The quality of bogusness. And I think this is the lesson for today, is that when one reads one's email, one must raise one's BOGO filter. The kids would call it Spidey sense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with that?
Now
Spidey sense. The thing that the little tingling you get in various parts of your body.
Including the gut.
Yeah, mine's more like the butt, but okay, same thing. It's somewhere in there. Not, I guess with Spider-Man it'd be in his fingertips, but your Spidey sense.
Bogus.
It's something wrong with this. Lately, I don't know, maybe this is just me, although my wife says she's getting them too. I've been getting a lot of emails that are bills, usually around $400 or $500, saying thank you for your payment. Not send me payment, but thank you for your payment. Isn't that clever? It used to be they'd say send us payment, but that didn't work so well. Thank you for your payment. And I think and there's always a phone number on it. They always look official. They look like real products. The phone number may not match the real product. I think the idea is you'll go, wait a minute, hold on there. I didn't spend, and by the way, it's always around $500. Mm-hmm. For too much, you'd go, pfft. For too little, you'd go, who cares? But $500 is enough that you go, well, I think that's wrong. But not, they're trying to rip me off. That seems wrong. Let me call that number. And then I don't know because I've never done it, but I'm guessing some very nice person will say, oh, golly, give me, what was the credit card number that you used for this payment? And you'll go, well, I don't know. I don't think I made this payment. And they may say, well, does it end in 008? They may say that. They may say, oh, well, what credit card number might it be? And let me see if I can match that up. The point being, though, you'll give them the credit card number and they make a good, careful note of that. They say, oh, all right. What's the expiration date? You give them the expiration. How about the security code? Well, this isn't a real charge. I know. We're going to reverse this. So I need that. Oh, thank you for reversing it. And boom, they got what they wanted. And they go, okay, we'll reverse that charge. So sorry to have bothered you. That's what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. My BOGO filter goes off, my spidey sense when I get these, because I say, but I didn't buy Adobe Premiere for $500. I didn't do that. Now, my real concern, and the reason I mention this, is what if our accounting department got that email, right?
Right.
They might say, well, I don't know. There's a lot of people, Leo and Mikah's always buying stuff. Let's go see. Let's call them. And then you might get that same effect, right? So just the BOGO filter. I want you to turn on your spidey sense. Here's another one. Just happened. Apparently, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security's email infrastructure has been compromised. And this is a weird one. Bad guys are sending out, this comes from Spam House, which monitors this. They just tweeted, we've been made aware of scary emails sent in the last few hours, and this was this morning, that purport to come from the FBI or Department of Homeland Security. While the emails are indeed being sent from the LEAP, L-E-E portal, law enforcement something, that's owned by the FBI, our research shows these are fake. They don't sound fake, but I'm not sure if it's just to mess with you, because it doesn't ask for money. Here's an example, and I just want, again, spidey sense should go off on this. Although, if you're a smart person, you'll look at the email address and say, well, it says FBI.gov. Let me look at I'm smart. I'm going to look at the email headers. The IT guys do this. Or gals. I'm going to look at the email header and see. And it did come from the FBI. It came from the Leap server. Oh, boy. Here's the message. Our intelligence monitoring indicates exfiltration of several of your virtualized clusters. I love how they're throwing in the bogosity words in a sophisticated chain attack. We tried to black hole the transit nodes used by this advanced persistent threat actor. However, there's a huge chance he will modify his attack with fast flux technologies, which he proxies through multiple global accelerators. By the way, every one of these terms so far, legit. May not make sense to put them together in this context, but they're all words that an IT person might go, I've heard of that.
Check the box, check the box.
Fast flux? Exactly. Oh, that sounds familiar. We identified the threat actor to be Vinnie Troia. Now, that's kind of funny, because there is a Vinnie Troia. So maybe this is all about Punk and Vinnie Troia. I don't know. Whom is believed, good use, by the way, of the objective. whom is, actually, it's not a good use, is it? Vinnie Troia, whom is wrong. Believed to be affiliated. By the way, I always look for grammatical errors of the kind that a non-native speaker might, and this is a good one. They're trying to sound fancy, so they said, whom is believed to be affiliated. You're the grammar drill sergeant. Sure. Whom is believed...
I do not believe it is, because it's not the object, yeah.
Yeah. Vinnie Troia, whom is believed, he is believed to be affiliated. It might actually be accurate. With the extortion gang, the Dark Overlord. Well, that can't be good. We highly recommend you to check your systems and IDS monitoring, intrusion detection system. Beware, this threat actor is currently working under inspection of the NCCIC, as we are dependent, on some of his intelligence research. We cannot interfere physically within 4 hours. He's one of ours.
My spidey sense was already
all
changing.
over. Tingling? Do you get the tingling? Which could be enough time to cause severe damage to your infrastructure. Stay safe, U.S. Department of Homeland Security. I don't know. Would they say stay safe? I don't know. They might.
Really? I mean, everybody in California says that to one another, so I might have been like,
stay safe.
I wasn't believing it, but now I am.
Now I believe it. Stay safe. It seems odd. It is bogus. It doesn't, there's no action item. There's no phone number to call with your credit card number. So it's not that kind of attack. It's very strange, right?
It's a branding play.
It's a branding play. Or somebody doesn't like Vinnie Troia, who, by the way, is a security guy. He wrote the book Hunting Cyber Criminals, A Hacker's Guide to Online Intelligence Gathering Tools and Techniques. May be that
a campaign against Vinny Troy.
He crossed the line somewhere with them. He mentioned them. He says, "Wow, I can't imagine," he tweets back, who would be behind this. Actually, I think he can. Is that sarcasm? That's another thing. I hate sarcasm because I never know if they mean it or not. The Dark Overlord, a.k.a. Pom Pom Purin. Well, I guess I don't know. This is the problem with Twitter. They're all going, Anyway, so this is not from the FBI. This is not an attempt to hack you. So that's the good news. Probably an attempt to discredit Vinny. So that's the bad news for Vinny. But I just want to pass along the idea of your BOGO filter, your Bogosity filter, your Spidey sense. When you get emails, if it feels a little off. Now, I've been told, and I think it's an interesting theory, I don't know if this is true or not, that, some of those really outrageously bad English emails that you get, hello, I am Mrs. Indugo Fonkunku, and I have a $10 million I've been holding for you, and that sometimes they put the bad English in because they don't want anybody who would look at that and say, well, that's clearly bogus, to respond. They want the most gullible, people.
Filter on
it's their own BOGO filter.
Oh my God!
Because they want people who don't recognize the grammatical errors and spelling errors and go, oh boy, there's $10 million waiting for me. More gullible's better in one of these situations.
I hadn't considered that.
I hadn't either.
Clever.
I hadn't either. So that's why I pass this along as a word of warning. Plus, it's fascinating to me how the bad guys operate. Just keep your Spidey sense up. And if you work in my accounting department, no, don't call them.
Just don't even look at any emails if you're an accountant.
Honestly, at this point, email is like sarcasm. You can't tell. Is it real or not?
I agree. I read every email with side eye.
Side eye is good one.
That's what I call it.
Side eye. All right, we're going to get to your phone calls in a bit. 8888 Ask Leo. I'll put a link to this article in the show notes, techguylabs.com, if you want to read more, read all about it. 8888 Ask Leo. Techguylabs.com is a free and open website where we put show notes, and that's at, as I said, techguylabs.com. So keep that in mind if you hear something and you say, I want to know more. I'd like to, you know what? Pass this along to your coworkers. Just, you can even, because we'll put audio and video from the show afterwards, we'll put it up there. You could even send them a clip saying, listen to this, and turn on your Spidey sense, your side eye. Do you squint one eye when you're doing side eye? You squint one eye, you look out of the corner of the other one.
Yeah.
Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Wow, that's a completely useless shot. Doesn't get either one of us in.
You just have to lean in.
You have
Leo.
to lean in, man. Use your side eye. Your side eye Spidey sense. I don't know. I guess we were affected by the Comcast outage because I remember because it was 11 at night for us. So it was in the middle of the night for you, Mike B.
I got hit.
You were working at 11?
Well, I wasn't working, but we were down at home. Yeah.
Lisa said the internet's down, and I just ignored her because she says that all the time.
Okay, see, this is what happens with me too, with my partner.
Okay,
sure. The
internet's down.
But I went and looked at the modem finally after he had complained for a while, and I said, "Oh, it actually is down."
Yeah. When was that? Was that Kim? Was that Monday night?
Yeah, it was Monday night.
It was Below Deck night.
I was watching Below Deck and the TV just froze, and I went, "What the?" And then I went to my modem and it looked fine, and I pulled.
What do you think of that Chiefs do? What's her name? I can't remember her name.
Heather.
So what's the deal with her lip? That's the question. I keep asking Lisa.
Has a lot of Botox in it.
Yeah, that's what I ask. I say to Lisa, what's that? It's that thing. Some movie, there are movie stars that have that little thing with a lip, upper lip, like a little lisp. And then Lisa says, no, that's just filler. That's filler? You would do that with filler?
I think it's probably filler. You know, you look at the first season of that, and the people aren't as glamorous and fancy as they are now.
And also the editing has gotten feels like it's gotten much faster now, which means that they're doing the reality show, fudge factor, messing with it. My BOGO filter's gone off on that show, but I still enjoy it. We watch it. It's our guilty
So I still
pleasure.
have 15 minutes left in that episode to watch because I don't know because it went off right at 9:45.
Oh, those are the worst guests. Actually, they leave you hanging because something horrible happens with those guests, but we don't know what it is yet.
It's been a whole week. I almost forget who the guests were.
Dr. Mom says it's a collagen overdose.
Well, Kate has that too. If you look at
Kate's really overdone with the fillers. Yeah.
Well, not season now, but
she's
when
gone,
she's in the replays.
Yeah. But it's a thing. I'm trying to think what actress has that where it just kind of
Lisa Rinna?
No, it hangs down a little bit. And then you lisp, there's a little lisp, and it's very fetching.
Oh, yeah, she does have
very
like a
fetching.
Speech impediment.
Yeah, it's a cute little thing that she's doing.
I don't think it's cute.
Yeah, I'm with Kim.
You don't think it's cute?
At all, no.
Who is it the... I'm trying to remember who it is that has that.
Picture of her now so I can get reminded. Yeah, that top lip is
there something going on with the top lip? You know who has that? Big. I think is Emma Stone. I think it's an Emma Stone lip.
Oh, yeah. She does look like Emma Stone.
It's an Emma Stone lip.
She's got a...
Okay. Who's that phone? Who's that on the phone?
I don't know this one.
I don't either. I feel like we're on the quiet storm, though.
Yes.
Kim Schaffer's here. She is our phone angel. She answers the phone when you ring. 8888 Ask Leo. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Did you have a good week? You were hit by the Comcast outage right in the middle of your favorite show.
15 minutes left in Below Deck and poof, gone.
Oh, man.
So what did I do?
What'd you do? Go to bed?
Closed my eyes and went to sleep.
Yeah.
And it was back on in the morning.
Yeah. I guess they had a nationwide outage.
Yeah, it hit everybody.
The biggest internet service provider in the U.S., Comcast/Xfinity.
And they're terrible.
Everybody hates them. Nobody likes them. But according to experts, it was not an attack. It was just, we'll never know, because they haven't put out an official story. But they say, well, we were in the middle of configuration and something went wrong is the kind of thing.
Did the guy from Facebook get fired and go over to Comcast?
Yeah, maybe he said.
Is that what happened?
I'm going to go work for the Comcast now. So there were two events. There was one in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's the one that hit you 9:40 p.m. right in the middle of Below Deck till 11:25. That was Monday.
Yeah.
Larger event, 5:05 a.m. Pacific, 8:05 Eastern on Tuesday. New York, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Virginia, and Sunnyvale. Something going on.
And my friend's AT&T was out all day on Tuesday, so I don't know what that was about.
You know what I take from all this? We really are dependent on the internet.
We are way too... Well, and especially with people working from home.
Yeah.
Because she had to find another place to go work all day
long.
Yeah,
we're so dependent on that.
Yeah.
If the internet went out, our phone lines would go down. Well, our phones are over the internet. The show is over the internet.
The bad thing is, and people don't do this... Here's your PSA for the day. Do not call 911 when your internet goes out, because apparently we made the news from Marin morons calling 911 when Comcast went out.
Can we call them Karens
Yeah.
Hello, is this emergency services? I don't have any internet.
Too bad. Neither does anybody else.
Yeah, you're fine. That is really terrible. Someone call. Don't call 911.
Yeah.
Who should I talk? You do call me though. 8888 Ask Leo. Who should I talk to?
I think we have Amanda in Tustin if she's woken up. Otherwise, it's her dad on line 1.
Did Amanda go to sleep? Thank you, Kim. Hello, Amanda.
Yeah.
And Amanda's dad.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. What's your name?
I'm Mark. I'm the photographer from your last pass.
Yeah. Hey, Mark. And your daughter, Amanda, how old is she?
20.
Oh, she's an adult.
She's in college, gets all A's. If she gets below a 95 on a test, I wonder what happened.
Oh, nice. Well, what can I do for you?
she started talking about a Chromebook. I've got like a $15,000 or $1,500 PC with gaming, and a $1,000 laptop that does gaming. And now she wants something new, a Chromebook. And I'm not a Chromebook aficionado.
Why does she want a Chromebook? For security, for cheapness? Just because she wants her own thing, probably, right?
I think she wants a smaller laptop. But let me have her talk to you. She's right here.
A lot of. Do you want a Chromebook because the kids in school also have Chromebooks? Is that one of the reasons, Amanda?
No, the reason I've been looking at a Chromebook is just because I want something that's small and portable. Because there are times where I want to be able to work on either homework, I want to work on writing, and I'll try and bring my laptop with me, and it's really bulky. And there are times where I'm trying to work on something, and it starts sliding off of whatever surface I'm having on, and I'm like gasped because I need to grab it quickly.
I know it's kind of weird to say go to the store and look, because there are a lot of smaller laptops of all kinds, including a Chromebook competitor. Microsoft just announced the Surface SE, but I think a Chromebook is a good choice. And they're under $500 for the most part. It's just for writing, huh?
Pretty much.
Yeah, my daughter uses it. She's getting an MFA in creative writing. She uses it because everything you write goes to the Google Cloud, and so even if she loses the Chromebook, she doesn't ever risk losing a word. So that's another good reason for it. But you'll be using Google's word processor to do that. Or you can use Microsoft's word processor, but I think for Chromebooks, it's probably Google's is better. Microsoft also has a web-based one. Yeah, so do you want to know what kind? Is that what you're asking?
I'm just looking for just any sort of like laptop. I just used I was looking at the Chromebook because that is just one of the computers that I saw that had all of the things that I wanted.
Perfect. Go to my friend Kevin Tofel's site, aboutchromebooks.com, for reviews, information. It's a really good source. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I think the hot Chromebook right now is a new one that just came out. Everybody seems to be raving about it. I think it's an Acer Spin C. It says CR. I can't remember the Acer Spin CX. Maybe it's Asus. I always confuse those.
CX9.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's the CX9. Yeah, it's got a modern processors, weighs 2.2 pounds, 14 hours battery life. It's a little more expensive because it's made with nicer materials. But that's one of the nice things about Chromebooks. You got lots of choices. Hey, Scott Wilkinson.
Hey, Leo Laporte.
How are you, my friend?
And Mikah, how are you? Both.
Yes. Doing well, thank you.
The Sarge is here.
The Sarge. Yes, sir. Hey, by the way, Mikah, you had asked me last time when am I going to go see that cool new display technology, and it turns out early December.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about your experience.
Yeah. I'm going to be up in Santa Cruz, actually, for the sad duty of going to a memorial of a close friend. But I am currently actively working on setting up a time to also go by their offices in San Jose.
Oh, good.
And I will make a full report.
Beautiful.
Good. What do you want to talk about today, Scott?
Well, because I'm actually not going to be here next week, I have got some Black Friday deals.
Oh, good.
It's black, as I will say, I'm sure, Black Friday has become really Black November.
Indeed. There's so many deals.
So many deals. And yet some not surprisingly. I didn't see really any disc players. I'm not that surprised at that. AVRs or speakers. I'm mostly going to talk about TVs.
No Sony
headphones.
Walkmans?
Nope, no Sony Walkmans.
Sad.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm sure they're always the TVs, right?
There's always TVs.
I am curious to hear your thoughts on should you buy a TV during Black Friday, or are you getting yesteryear's television versus...
In a couple of cases you are, but in most cases not.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yep. Because by now, in November, they're going to show new models at CES in January, and then they're going to start shipping in the spring. So
they're clearing out current stock, not previous stock.
Correct.
That makes sense.
For the most part.
Oh, I want to tell you about the Nanodegree programs at Udacity. We'll have more of the tech I show in just a little bit. Our sponsor, Udacity, is a fantastic way to get the skills you need to get the job you want. In fact, Udacity works with the biggest companies in tech. Your instructors are very often leads at those companies. And the whole reason these companies want to work with you on these Nanodegree programs is because they need people with these skills. And a lot of people, even coming out of the best computer science programs at the best universities, don't have the skills to get this job. You need these skills. That's why they offer the latest cutting-edge Nanodegree programs. And you can learn it online at your own pace, anywhere in the world. The other thing I love about Udacity, all of their teaching is project-based, hands-on. And this is my experience. If you can take all the courses you want. If you don't actually implement the knowledge, you didn't learn it. If you can't actually build the project, you didn't learn it. Plus, I can tell you this, it's a heck of a lot easier. If you have some projects you can put in a portfolio, put on your GitHub page, and Udacity will help you with that, polishing your GitHub page or your LinkedIn. Then you can point to those, and that helps a lot in getting these jobs. Talk about cutting-edge technology careers. They've got Nanodegree programs in AI, in flying car and autonomous flight engineer. I love that. Intro to self-driving cars, machine learning engineer. Actually, the one I'm interested in, robotics software engineer. I love the idea of writing software to control a robot. That would be so cool. They're created in partnership with big companies like Microsoft and Google and IBM and Amazon. Top team leads are your instructors. You're going to get the right knowledge from these experts. They're working in the field every day. All the courses, project-based, active learning. You test your knowledge as you're doing it. Homework and projects will be reviewed just like a code review, just like it's going to be in the real world by qualified professionals. But don't worry, you're never alone. You get real human feedback and reviews and mentors available 24/7. There are mentors all over the world, and that's really nice. Plus, there's ways you could talk to other Udacity learners. They have forums and so forth. So you're really in it together. And your schedule, I know, a lot of Udacity learners have day jobs. It needs to be flexible. You choose whatever works for you any time of the day or night. In as little as 5 to 10 hours a week at your own pace, you can graduate in as little as 3 months. And then the world is your oyster. Let me tell you about 110 Blacks in Technology. They teamed up with Udacity to offer a part-time online tech scholarships for Black Americans who don't have a 4-year degree, but have the smarts, have the brains, have the talent, and just need the opportunity. They're offering 2,000 full scholarships for qualified applicants. So if you're Black American, apply today, udacity.com. Especially if you don't have that 4-year degree, but you know you want to work in this field. Just go to the bottom of the webpage, select scholarships. It's under resources. And by the way, there's also Udacity for Enterprise. You can upskill your entire workforce with Udacity. Check out the enterprise section at udacity.com/twit. Great place to learn. A great way to get a career in tech. Or I don't want a career in tech particularly. I just like learning, and I love the courses. Get the in-demand tech skills you need to advance your career. Visit udacity.com/twit to learn more. udacity.com/twit. We thank Udacity so much for supporting the show. And now, back to the tech guy. I know what's hip. It's this cat right here, man. He's so hip. Scott Wilkinson. That is hip. He is our home theater guru, joins us every week at this time. Hello, Scott.
Hello, Leo. How's it going?
It's good to see you. As you know, Thanksgiving is coming.
Indeed it is.
On the 25th, that means Black Friday is coming, November 26th.
Yep.
And Cyber Monday on the 29th.
Yep.
But as you said, as we were talking before during the commercial, it's really Black November these days. Everybody's got deals.
These days, everybody's got deals all month long.
And we look to you when it comes to TV deals. Now, we might even be more important this year because the wire cutter, the place everybody goes during Black Friday to see if it's a deal or not, the wire cutter employees are unionizing, and they're threatening a strike on the busiest day of the year. This is the day of the year, and I know many people work there. They stay up all night. You used to do this, Mikah, didn't you? For iMore?
Yes.
You'd stay up all night. You'd be processing the data. They do it on Prime Day. They do it on Black Friday. It's a horrific exercise.
It's a horrific job. Man, I've done it too, and it's horrible.
Tough. And so it's a good time if you're going to strike, to go on strike. They are now working for the New York Times, and they want to be part of the News Guild, and I think it's more power to them. I'm all in favor of it. Meanwhile, you, as a non-union employee, have got to get to work. I know you're not going to be here next week, so what do you got for us? Is this a good time to buy a TV? That was the first thing Mikah wanted to know.
Yes, it is a good time to buy a TV. Some people might think that, they're just trying to dump last year's models. But it's not true for the most part. There is one example I have here of that there is a last year's model that's being sold, and it's a really good deal. But for the most part, it is this year the 2021 models. Because they're going to introduce the 2022 line in January.
So that's
CES.
That's something to keep in mind. The new models come out in the spring.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean you're getting a bad TV. I still have my LG OLED I bought 5 years ago, and it's still as good as anything.
Great.
Yeah, it's
fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
I watched the Bond movie on it last night. Lisa said it's too real. It's too real. Turn it off. I feel like I'm there.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. You know, because a new model line comes out every year does not mean that the previous year's it suddenly is horrible. It's not. You might get an improvement here or there. Every once in a while, there's a major improvement, but for the most part, it's incremental. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, so, I mean, someday there will be a new technology, probably micro LED, that maybe you'll say, okay, now you want the new thing. But for right now, minor improvements as we go.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, another thing I will tell you about my Black Friday recommendations or Black November recommendations is that you're going to see TVs, for $100 if you go look at Black Friday deals. Yeah. And those are going to be, 720p.
Do not get a $100 TV unless it's for the bathroom or the kids' room or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Then it doesn't matter. But my recommendations are going to be for TVs that I actually think are good.
Okay.
And that are going to really be going to serve you well and look really good. So, for example, at Walmart, we have the TCL 6 series, which is a mini LED backlight TV. The 65-inch R635 is $1,000, $999, down from $1,500. So that's a savings of 33%.
That's good.
Which is really good. There are a number of other LCD TVs. Best Buy has the Sony 65X90 for $1,200, normally $1,500. That's not so great a deal. Better deals at BJ's, the Samsung 75-inch Q8, which is a QLED, quantum dot, FALD, full array local dimming, $1,700, down from $2,700. That's $1,000 off.
And we've been saying if you're going to get an LCD and you can afford it, get an FALD, full array local dimming.
Correct.
And boy, that's a good price for a FALD back then.
Oh, for a 75-incher, absolutely.
Giant.
Yeah. Or how about at BJ's also, the 85-inch Q8.
Okay. I'll take it.
$2,500 down from $3,000. So that's only 17% off. It's not that great. The best deal in my list is actually the Samsung 75 Q8 for $1,000 off. Wow. That's a great deal.
You will put this list up at techguylabs.com.
I will.
As we do every year. I guess I wonder are TV sales slowing down, or are they picking up, and are they affected by this supply chain shortage?
Well, I'm sure they're affected by the supply chain because
so they might be
part
hard
of the
to
supply
get.
chain problem is chips, right?
Yeah, and these smart TVs all have chips in them.
All have lots of chips in them.
Yeah.
So, there probably is. I haven't read anything specifically about how TVs, how they aren't available. I mean, I looked on Amazon. Some of these are on Amazon, and
they seem to be pretty available.
They seem to be okay. Yeah, exactly.
And then I think because of COVID, a lot of people are trying to build home theaters so that you don't have to go to the movie theater. Like I waited. I wanted to see the Bond film, but I waited because I thought, you know what, my home theater's nice. Watch it on the OLED.
Yep.
It'll be we can sit up close. It'll be as good as watching it in the theater, and it was. Yeah. It was.
Yeah, exactly. Now that we talked about some LCD TVs there for a minute, there are also some OLEDs on sale, but not as great a savings. They're only in the 15 to 20. Well, here's one that's almost 30%. On Amazon, the LG 65C1, which is my recommendation, bar none, for an OLED TV, a cost-effective OLED TV, $1,800 down from $2,500, so that's a $700 savings. If you want a slightly smaller one, Best Buy and Amazon have the 48-inch version of that same OLED for $1,100 down from $1,300. So that's only a 15% savings, but still.
TVs did go up this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
no
question.
So this is a good time if you're going to buy. This is probably
This is a really good time.
Is it the best time of year?
Well, it's either now or Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday, yeah.
Or coming up, the week or two ahead of Super Bowl Sunday.
Because but then you will be buying last year's TV. That's why the prices are so good.
Correct, because the new ones are about to come out.
Right.
Exactly. Now, I found a number.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, should people definitely not consider anything but 4K HDR?
Well, again, unless it's for, the kids' bedroom or
you really want that 4K.
You really do.
Sometimes they call it UHD, right? UHD, ultra high def. Yeah.
And all these TVs that I have on my list and I've been talking about today, they're all 4K. Virtually any TV from the midline up is going to be 4K. You can't avoid it unless you go to the very bottom of the list in terms of the lineup that a manufacturer offers. Those $100 TVs are going to be 720p or maybe 1080p high definition as opposed to ultra high definition. But I'm recommending, if you can, you want to buy a 4K TV because more and more content is coming out with that, and HDR, even more important, high dynamic range, and all these TVs have that as well.
Yeah, the Bond movie was in Dolby Vision.
Oh, man.
And that's the one that looks
awesome.
hyper real to me. Almost like the frame rate is higher. I don't know if it is, but it looks hyper real to me.
Yep, exactly right.
If we don't,
and some people complain about that.
If we wanted a more dreamy experience, we go watch in the living room. The projector is a little bit more dreamy or less high quality. Scott Wilkinson, have a great week in Santa Cruz. I know you're going to take an opportunity because you're going up there to go to San Jose and visit this new 3D reality.
Lightfield Lab. I'll report on that.
Yeah. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Have a great week. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I actually pay $20 extra a month for my YouTube TV just so I have some 4K choices. But there really aren't many 4K choices outside of sports, Apple TV and sports. Although Apple TV is selling all the old Bond movies for $99, and I noticed they're all 4K. Mm-hmm. So I guess because they're all the early ones were film.
Well, yeah. I guess it's on Apple TV. We're watching Ted Lasso. That's certainly 4K HDR.
Yeah.
I'm watching Foundation. That's certainly 4K.
Oh,
HDR.
yeah. All the streaming networks are. It's the live locals that aren't the football games. All the stuff that I would love football to be 4K universally. It's a lot of college games are. Yeah, and HDR. Mm-hmm. Be so much. And I think in time it will be. Yeah.
Yeah, it will.
But YouTube TV, see, that's what I'm saying, because YouTube TV is about TV stations as opposed to streaming stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then none of that's 4K.
No, unfortunately. Do you want to take some time here to talk to the chat room? All righty.
Happy to.
All righty then.
Hello, everybody. Yes, thank you, Tech Dino. I do try to do my research. The other thing, I forgot to mention this, is that with Black November, because it's a month long now, basically, deals come and go. So I found a deal, for example, on Amazon for the Bose Quiet Comfort 35 II, which is their noise canceling over-the-ear headphones. Great noise cancelers. And they were, I don't know, 15, 20 or 30% off on Amazon till today when that deal left. It disappeared. So that's something to keep in mind. These deals sort of come and go. Mike B says, in 2018, I got a 2017 Samsung 43-inch 4K TV. Wow, that's very small for 4K. With HDR for $150. Yeah, exactly. See? Let's see. Faux pas, or faux pas maybe. First time hearing of FALD, F-A-L-D, full array local dimming. Should I buy OLED, QLED, or FALD? Are they all HDR? Well, these days they are all HDR. FALD does not, which of these three things in this set does not belong? OLED, QLED, or FALD? FALD does not belong. OLED and QLED are the technology of the display. So OLED, organic light emitting diode, is by far my favorite display technology available today. QLED, for quantum dot LED, is an LCD TV with an LED backlight. And they're much better now than LCD TVs used to be, but they're still not as good, in my opinion, as OLED. The only thing QLED and LED TVs in general have over OLED is brightness. They can get way brighter. So if you're in a room that you typically watch TV with a lot of ambient light, it's going to then having an LED TV or a QLED TV is going to be better. FALD, full array local dimming, is how the backlight of an LED TV or a QLED TV, how it works. Full array local dimming means you've got LEDs behind the screen, the entire screen in an array. And they're divided into little zones. And if there's a bright image in this part of the picture, the zone brightens up. And if there's a dark part of the image over here, the zone dims. So and it gives you better perceived contrast in the image. So FALD, if you're going to get an LED or a QLED TV, FALD is really important. I strongly recommend it.
I feel like we should be suited up with our pads running onto the field here. It's time for the Tech Guy Show, a.k.a. Saturday Morning Football. 8888 Ask Leo, the phone number. Mark is on the line from Woodland Hills, California, our next caller. Hello, Mark.
Hi there. You're the bomb diggity, baby.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Well, thank you. Whatever that means, I'm glad.
I have some just tons of organized files and folders, but I know I have a lot of redundancies, and I was wondering if you could recommend a file management system of some sort, with research material and photos that I have. It's just
what an interesting idea. So instead of using, that's one of the facilities any operating system offers you, is this kind of way to organize what's on your hard drive with folders and file names and all of that stuff. But it's not the best. I mean, it's not the end-all, be-all, but it's a start. You want to go a step further. You kind of now at this point need a document database, in effect.
Essentially, yeah. I have so many external hard drives and the like, and I know there's a lot of redundancy.
Yeah. People who do research, novelists, anybody who's kind of like downloading articles and wants to collate them and then integrate them. So there are a couple of questions. Windows or Mac?
It's Windows.
Windows. And do you ever want to use your mobile device or have access to that data on your mobile device?
No, I have too much proprietary research material. And I'm a policy analyst, so it needs to have and personal stuff as well.
It needs to be secure.
Yes, sir.
So there's a lot of choices on the Mac for stuff like this. A lot of novelists use a program called Scrivener.
Never.
And never.
I'm not joining the cult. Sorry. No, brother.
Okay, it is available for Windows. I see it. So you by cult you mean Apple, not Scrivener, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I'd take a look at. It's at literatureandlatte.com. There's a free trial, and it has. This is one very popular style where you have you can put notes in. They can look like index cards. A lot of, in the old days, that's how you do it, right? You use index cards and clippings in a notebook. This is trying to kind of duplicate that. And then it also uses multi-windowed layout and columns so that you can have, for instance, in the middle of the thing you're working on, a list of clippings on the left, other files on the right. So it has, it's so you can structure it. And I know a lot of novelists and people love Scrivener. So that's the first thing I would look for. I think this will fit your...
I also have quite a bit of personal stuff. Travel. I've been to quite a few foreign nations, and
yeah. So that's one thing. Now, I use for this, and Mikah, you use this too. I don't know if you still like it. Something called Notion, which is now the only drawback is the data is not stored locally. It's stored on their server. It's Notion.so, but it is one of a large and growing category of apps that are designed to kind of be the next generation of note-taking. And I think Notion is a really interesting thing. It may not suit your needs, Mark, because it sounds like for security reasons you don't want to store this in the cloud.
No.
Okay.
I'm willing to have it physically.
Yeah, you prefer that. So Scrivener is local. Of course, you're going to want a good backup because you're now storing a lot of important stuff in there. So, make sure you have a good backup, an encrypted backup, something like our sponsor iDrive, so that you don't have to think about, what happens if I lose that hard drive.
And my mobile phone never has any financials on it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty safe with
Yeah, you're
that.
a secure guy. I get it. Yeah.
I used to love the Yoda 3, and I wish they hadn't gone under.
I know. I was disappointed as well.
Love the dual screen.
So the final thing I would mention, and I've been using this, it's probably not for you. It's a note-taking app called Obsidian at obsidian.md. The reason I like Obsidian, it can be local. It does allow you to also store it on something like Dropbox or OneDrive or something like that. But it is very text-based, and it sounds like you might have articles scanned in, things like that. Yeah. Scrivener would probably be the right choice for you.
Oh, splendid. Okay.
So there's
sage advice as always. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Mark. Yeah, this is actually first of all, I've mentioned this before. Don't get me started. Because, right, you know this, Mikah. I love note-taking apps.
And, note-taking and storage.
And I think that I'm not alone in this. This has become a very hot topic because of something called Zettelkasten. This was 100 years ago.
Yes.
A guy came up with it's a German word that means note box. He came up with a paper-based note-taking method called Zettelkasten. Now, this guy was prolific. He was able to write so many books, and he always credited it to his card index system. And so there is a methodology around all this. And there's, in fact, now you'll see there's tons of writers, people talking about this. Probably the best known guy on this is Tiago Forte. At Forte, F-O-R-T-E, labs.co. He's a productivity guy, but he focuses on note-taking. And the theory is, if you had a good note-taking system, something like Zettelkasten, which I think is over-elaborate, but if you had a second brain, in effect, on paper or on computer these days, you would be able to draw inferences, think more orderly. It's for writers a way of taking a lot of disparate information, linking it, and then making new ideas out of it. And so that's the thesis behind Zettelkasten. And Tiago is one of the kind of the proponents of this second-brained thing. And so there's a big second brain movement. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago you might remember there was a big getting things done movement.
Right.
Yes. To-do list movement. And what I found with that is people are more interested in setting up the system than actually doing it, right?
I was one of those people.
Yeah, I don't have to do anything if I just have a great system, right?
Right.
And so you spend days, weeks, months building a system. I think there's a little bit of that in this whole Zettelkasten movement. Sometimes on Reddit, they call it a PK, I think it's a PKKS. It's a personal note-taking system. And there is actually a very good subreddit where people talk about the various ways of taking notes and so forth. But I think I'm a big fan of Obsidian because it's on all my devices. It syncs, but it's very textual. You can put images in it, but it's not about images. Notion is very much about graphical interface, and it looks good, but you don't. And this is a pro and a con. The stuff doesn't live on your computer. It lives in the cloud, which is good. You don't have to worry about ever losing it. But it's bad if you're worried about security. They do have a way of encrypting notes and so forth. But I think it's more public than perhaps some people would like. And then there are lots of local things like Scrivener. I think Scrivener
has lots of testimonials from academics and lawyers, not just journalists and writers. So yeah, I think that's the.
So I've boiled down what would really, I could go on for hours about the pros and cons of all these different ways of doing it. And of course, just like getting things done, I've got the system set up. Never use it. Never use it. Obsidian is the one I end up sticking with. I think it's probably, for me, the best solution. And I know a lot of writers who prefer Scrivener. This is National November Novel Writing Month, NaNoWriMo. And a lot of people I know who write novels use tools like Scrivener to get their notes together, to get their plots together, to organize all that, and then start writing. And what you want is something where you can start writing and it's going to be at your fingertips, all that research and work you've done. And I think Scrivener is very good for that. There's other ones like Ulysses and so forth, but Scrivener's cross-platform, which is a big advantage. Scott, you still there? Sorry I had to cut you off. I came running in.
I heard the music, no problem.
I freaked out. I went, oh my God, I forgot. All right. All yours, my friend. All yours.
Thank you so much. Oh, I should have put a HTTP here. Some people were asking about Tuba Christmas. Unfortunately, there's no Tuba Christmas LA this year.
What?
Well,
what happened?
The venue that we normally use.
The graveyard?
The graveyard, yes. The
cemetery?
Hall of Liberty at Forest Lawn Cemetery.
Yeah.
It's an indoor venue. They have too many restrictions.
Can't do it. Yeah.
Really can't. They said, for one thing, all your tuba players have to wear
netting
over their belts. Second of all, only one can be
tuba
unmasked
masks.
At a time.
Tuba masks.
Tuba masks, yes. Yeah. We normally get an audience of close to 1,000. And everybody has to have that
cemetery's full. Go home.
And I did not want to be the vaccine police or the mask police. And so we didn't do it. Now I am so frustrated at this. We almost had an outdoor venue down at USC, University of Southern California. And we were getting all set to have this great outdoor Tuba Christmas. And USC said, oh, nope, sorry, we're not doing any performances during finals week, which is exactly when we were going to do Tuba Christmas there and when a lot of the important principal people that are on my team were available. But that got canceled. So I didn't have time to find another venue by that point. So instead, I'm actually joining, believe it or not, two friends of mine do a podcast, a weekly podcast all about tubas called Conical Supremacy. And they are going to do a live stream Christmas concert from one of the members, one of the guys who does the podcast, from his driveway. And I'm going to play with them. I get to go play with some really high-end professionals. I mean, top-of-the-line professionals. And that's going to be super fun. And I will share the link of where to go for that when I come back week after next. Oh, by the way, week after next is Thanksgiving Saturday. Are we on then? I was going to ask that question. We have to find out. So thank you, Loquacious. I really wish I could have had Tuba Christmas this year. I did an online one last year, sort of a interview show, kind of like my old podcast, but about tubas instead of technology. And you can still go see it. I put it in the chat room, 2020.tubachristmasla.com. My good friend Michael Klein, Mike Mann in the chat room, did the technical direction, and he did a great job. And we're not going to do that this year, but I am going to be on this live stream concert, and I will make sure everybody knows that when the time comes, when I know what the URL is myself. And so I hope you will tune in for that. So let's see. Yes, Kim. I actually I recognize the. Sorry about that. I recognize the song that Laura played for Kim when she came on. It's called "When Sly Calls" by Michael Franks. I used to be a big Michael Franks fan. Still am. I like his music a lot. And
Popsicle Toes.
Right. Yes. He is on the wave. He's sort of soft jazz, it's true, but very creative songwriter. I like him a lot. And that was one of his tunes, and I recognized it immediately because I used to listen to him.
I always
all the
loved
time.
Michael Franks, but he's more jazzy than slushy, I think.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
He reminded me a lot
creative
of the early
songwriter.
jazz, like Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross and stuff. I always liked him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Leo, do we have?
Yes.
Are you doing a live show on
Yes,
Thanksgiving
we are.
week?
Yes,
Okay,
I came
good.
in to say yes.
Then I will be here
Sorry,
for that.
but you
Oh,
can
no
do-
problem. You had to go take a break. I'm here to give you a break. So.
No, I'm
No
apologizing for doing a show.
Oh.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, after Turkey, everyone's kind of lazing around, and they're going to hear you.
We're doing a ham this year on the Traeger. You're going to smoke a ham.
Oh man!
Did you see?
By the way,
go ahead, Scott.
I was going to say Mike B just posted something at Best Buy, a 98-inch Samsung 8K TV for $60,000.
Oh, what a deal!
Oh, I'm going to buy that.
98 inches. Man,
why would Best Buy? Well, they just list it for fun. It's like the Neiman Marcus catalog, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not even on sale. It's not even a Black Friday deal.
Well, if you have to worry about sale prices, you can't afford it.
Then you can't afford it.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, Mikah, you were saying?
Oh, yeah. Did you see the Traeger has a subscription service for foods now? They source all of these
Everybody
meats
does.
from really good places.
Oh, no.
And they get the sauces and the
it's the meat,
spices and
not the
everything.
recipe. Oh,
yeah.
good.
So you get this box that will let you make, a meal for 25 people or 15 people using Traeger.
You just want me to? You don't.
I know. Look. If you invite me over for a Traeger meal, I'll go off my diet.
Look, it's called the Grill Masters Club Experience.
I think
Brisket
it's called
meal boxes.
Traeger Provisions. That's what.
Oh, you're right. This was somebody bought an ad ahead of it.
Yeah, provisions.traeger.com will show you the thing, but you basically can buy the box. They send it to you. It's got everything you need to make a meal for X amount of people. And then you use the Traeger Smart features to cook it just as it needs to be.
They're smart.
Very smart.
While we have a little time, Edmonton Oiler guy is saying, do you see this the same anecdotal information about burn-in from the plasma days targeting OLED? Yes, I do. And there is a slight problem with that. If you leave a static image on an OLED for many, many hours or even days, you see that mostly with people at trade shows who put up an OLED and they have a static image on there for days and days. Then you'll get some burn-in. But in normal use, not unless you keep the TV on the news station with the ticker or a video game with a scoreboard that's stuck there in one place, and you keep that up there for days and days, it's really not going to be a problem. Let's see here. Elmo says, my son still has his plasma TV. Yes, I do too. I still have a Pioneer Kuro.
My Kuro's sitting out in the hall. Nobody seems to want it. I mean, it's sitting here at the office. Yeah. I agree.
Really?
Yeah.
It's still a great TV. It doesn't have HDR, but the blacks are so deep.
That's the problem.
But the blacks are so deep that it almost is. It's not quite.
1080p.
And it's 1080p.
Ugh.
You know, what can I tell you?
Scott, have a great one. Why, hey. How are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography, smartphones, smart watches, all that jazz with my buddy Mikah Sargent. We're here to help. That's what we do. We're here to help. We are the rescue squad for your technology woes. 8888 Ask Leo. Everything we talk about goes up on the website. That's techguylabs.com. That's free. There's no sign up, no charge. All the shows, all 1,843 shows are there. Audio and video from the shows after. And thanks to James DeRuvo's writing all that down so I don't have to. And we can get that up there in the show notes. Bill is on the line from Kingston, Pennsylvania. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Leo, and thanks for taking my call. And hi to Mikah, too.
Hello.
I appreciate the chance to talk to you.
What can we do for you? Oh, yeah, we're here. I'm just listening with all ears.
Okay. Well, I have been a Motorola user for many, many years, and I think I keep going back to it because of the one feature that this phone has is that peak display, where I can sit that phone down next to me and the screen's black, and if I get an alert, I see an email icon, I see a text icon, or whatever alert I have. I'm looking at this Pixel 6. It looks really nice, but I can't find the answer, even at a Best Buy, at a Verizon, because they're all display models, and I look online, I can't find the answer anywhere. How do you see, because I know you use the Pixel 6, how do you see if you have an email with the screen dark without actually having to wake up your screen?
So this is, I think most Android phones now have this. Motorola pioneered it, the always-on display. And right now on my Pixel 6, I see the clock, I see the date, I see a weather forecast, and I see a calendar notification, which I can then tap or just tap the screen, and it'll show me the calendar notification. So it's in the settings. It depends on how much information you want, but the always-on display is, I think, exactly what you're wanting. So you can say how much information is on that display. You can even mess with it, and change what the clock looks like, things like that. So I think that's what you want.
Doesn't that use more battery?
No, because, and this is why they can do it. In fact, I think Motorola, why they started doing it, because these are OLED screens, OLED screens. So the only energy is used by the non-black stuff. So you can see the screen is almost entirely black, except for the few little bits of white. So it's a very small amount of battery. It's not the same amount as if the screen were on. It is a little bit of a draw because, but most phones nowadays are always on in some respect anyway. They're always checking email. Those notifications, those push notifications come in over the network. They have to, they have to accept them, and so there's always a little bit going on. But I find the battery life on the Pixel 6 Pro, which is what I have, very, very good. It's got a big battery.
If you leave it, let's say you don't have it always on, you have it off, and you get an email. Do you still see it on your black screen or no? How would you know you have it if you don't have it?
No, you wouldn't. You have to allow the always on screen. But you can control what's on the always on screen. So for instance, you can turn off, I can say turn off time and usage. And they, in fact, it's interesting because they do say increased battery usage having it on. So I can turn off time and info. But there's only a certain amount of granularity you can get on there. So, but they say what to show on the lock screen. You can add text as I do, for lost and found. It's got my name and phone number and email on it. You can allow access from the lock screen to the wallet, which means you can buy stuff without unlocking it. You have device controls. I have Now Playing turned on. That's something Google started to put in their Pixel phones where it hears music. It'll put the name of the song up on the screen. All of this uses some battery life.
Yeah,
right?
Motorola has that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have an email and you see it and you touch the email, can you see who it's from?
Depending on how much information you're putting in notifications, if you tap the screen without unlocking it, it'll show at least some of it, the subject or who sent the email. I don't actually have email notifications turned on, but it'll show some of that information. Same thing, my calendar is now saying I should be on the air right now. Oh, good, I am. It says device pairing, your messages are available, and I can expand that on a device you've paired. So you can expand it, and I have not unlocked it, so this is before I unlock it. But again, for privacy reasons, some people don't want to have all that information on an unlocked device. So that's up to you. But you could turn on. I think this is, as I remember, I was a big fan of the Moto X. When that came out, I just loved it. I thought, Motorola, you've just made the best Android phone out there. And I think Google has incorporated most, if not all, of those features in.
Yeah, I'm also looking at the Edge 2021. That looked like a nice phone as well.
Yeah, they just announced that. They're very affordable. Most of them are under $500. I think they have great features. Where you sacrifice a little bit is they're not maybe the fastest processors. They don't have the most amount of storage or memory and so forth. They're mid-range phones. But I think, honestly,
it also doesn't have an OLED. It has an LCD screen.
For most people, mid-range phones are excellent. You don't need to spend $1,000 on a Pixel. Well, the Pixel 6, the one I have is $900. So I guess that's close enough. Yeah. That's $1,000-ish. You don't have to spend that much.
Why do they have a different price? One, the unlock is $100 less than the Verizon.
Because Verizon's subsidizing it.
Oh,
it's the same price, really, but Verizon's kicking in $100 to get you as a customer, basically, or keep you.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, thanks a lot, Leo.
Hey, my pleasure.
My questions.
Yeah.
I'm
a big fan of the Pixel. You have a Pixel now, Mikah, right?
I do.
Have you started using it?
Oh, yeah. The Pixel 6 is fantastic. And I just have the standard one. And the photos have been great. I love that always on display. I've had no problems with the fingerprint sensor on it. And it runs zippy quick. It's a really nice phone.
And this is coming from a guy who is basically an iOS bigot.
Devout iOS user.
Yeah. You do our iOS show with Rosemary Orchard. And you're an expert in iOS. So an iPhone user probably your whole life, pretty much.
Yeah.
So is this your first Android phone?
No, I started on Android and then moved to iOS because at the time, Android devices were more affordable. And so it wasn't until later that I was able to afford an iPhone.
Scooter X is reminding me now why the Verizon phone is $100 more. More, not less. He said less. If it's less, it's subsidized. But there are two versions of the Pixel. Some versions, the Verizon version, have the millimeter wave 5G, which if you can avoid buying it, I would, unless you live in a special block in Pittsburgh or New York City or somewhere where you can get millimeter wave. It only travels about 800 feet. You have to be right near a millimeter wave tower. Most people in the U.S. do not get millimeter wave 5G. I blame the phone companies for this. They confused the heck out of everybody with 5G. They pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. There are really three different kinds of 5G. The most common low-band 5G, implemented by almost all carriers, T-Mobile started it, is, as far as I can tell, in almost no way better than 4G. It's maybe a little faster. I don't see any huge benefit to 5G, but we're all in 5G now because it's everywhere. Then there's this mid-band, which is not very common, is starting to roll out. That might be a little bit faster. The fast 5G they talk about, the one where you download a song in 2 seconds or a TV show in 30 seconds, that's very narrow availability and still is. And, they talk about, it's in an NFL stadiums. Yeah, one corner. It's down by the hot dog stand on the left for 40 feet. That's it. It's not even the whole stadium. So I wouldn't worry about millimeter wave 5G unless you're in that area. And even then, if it's that fast, you're going to burn through your data in a couple of days. It may not be a good thing in any respect. It's still marketing right now. At some point, 5G might kind of live up to its promise. But right now, you're going to get 5G with any new phone. It's going to be low frequency 5G, which is fine. Fine. 8888 Ask Leo, the phone number. If you have a question, a comment, a suggestion, you want to talk high tech with us. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Johnny Jet, travel guru. I was just on his YouTube channel. We did a nice long conversation. I'll tell you about that in just a little bit too. The Tech Guy Podcast brought to you today, and as it has been for several weeks, by Userway. I'm really happy about Userway. Userway.org. This is a company, I really resonate with their mission, its mission is to make every website in the world accessible to everybody. And this should be your mission. I mean, if you have a website, you don't want to leave 60 million Americans out in the cold. Well, that's kind of what you're doing if your website is not accessible. It's just that simple. But the reason many people, and I include myself in this, are reluctant to kind of face this head on is it seems like that would be a hard and costly thing to do. It's not. Userway is very affordable. It makes sure your website is ADA compliant, which is important because you can be sued if it's not. Every website is a public entity. In fact, there's a famous lawsuit, went all the way up to the Supreme Court. Pizza company, well-known national pizza company, did not have an accessible website. They were sued with the ADA. Their position was, well, we've got a phone number. If you're blind, just call the phone number and you can order the pizza. The U.S. Supreme Court said, no, that's separate but equal. You're a public entity. You have to be accessible. And I celebrate that. I think that's absolutely right, especially because it's easy and affordable to do. Userway has an incredible AI-powered solution that tirelessly enforces all of the hundreds of WCAG guidelines, the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. These are set up by the World Wide Web Consortium. And if you're compliant, you're golden. And the best part is it's one line of JavaScript. Userway can achieve more than an entire team of developers. And the proof's in the pudding. More than 1 million websites use Userway. Coca-Cola trusts it. Disney uses it. eBay trusts it. FedEx uses it. Many leading brands because they have a real, need and interest in being accessible. The best part is Userway is making its best-in-class enterprise-level accessibility tools available to small and medium-sized businesses for as little as $49 a month. When you scale, you'll be glad to know it scales. If Disney can use it, you can use it. An accessible and compliant website, it's not just the right thing to do. It makes business sense. The Achilles heel for so many websites, registration forms, nav menus, shopping carts, not accessible. You're just throwing away business, right? For years, Userway's been on the cutting edge creating innovative accessibility technologies that push the envelope of what's possible with AI, machine learning, and computer vision. Why does it need that? Well, it has to, in a way, look at a website and see it as somebody who was blind or otherwise disabled would see it and then remediate it. For instance, every image, automatically it generates an alt tag for it. So if you've got a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge, it describes it. It says Golden Gate Bridge. If you want, you can enhance it. That makes it very easy to do that. It writes image descriptions for you. That could be the starting point or it could be the end game. It will remediate complex nav menus. A hamburger menu is hard for everybody to use. Imagine if you're blind. What does the screen reader say? It makes sure all your pop-ups are accessible. It fixes vague link violations, fixes any broken links. It even makes sure that your website uses accessible colors while remaining true to your brand colors. And you'll get a detailed report of everything that's fixed on your website so you know exactly. Completely platform agnostic. It works on WordPress, Shopify, Wix. It's cost-effective, easy to use. If you can add a line of JavaScript, you can do it. AEM, Sitecore, SharePoint, basically anything. Even my website, which is static, self-designed, easy peasy. Let Userway help your business meet its compliance goals and improve the experience for your users. Check out their free scanning tool to see if your website's ADA compliant. Just go to the website and you can check. Let's hear from the famous voice of Siri, Susan Bennett. She's got a message about UserWay.
UserWay is trusted by more than 1 million websites and 60 million users with disabilities. Visit userway.org to learn how one line of code can make your website accessible.
UserWay. It can make any website fully accessible, ADA compliant. Everyone who visits your site can browse seamlessly and customize it to fit their needs. Great way to showcase your brand's commitment to millions of people with disabilities. Just the right thing to do. Go to userway.org/twit. It's also the legal thing to do. Userway.org/twit. We're going to get you 30% off UserWay's AI-powered accessibility solution. UserWay, making the internet accessible for everyone. Visit userway.org/twit today. We thank you, UserWay, for making our websites compliant. Good job. And thanks for sponsoring the Tech Guy podcast. Thanks to you, podcast listener, for using that address so they know you saw it here. Userway.org/twit. Now, back to the Tech Guy. Leo Laporte, Mikah, Sargent, your Tech Guys on the radio, 8888. Ask Leo. Apple does not have an always on the iPhone, do they?
They have not done that yet.
That screen is dark when you're not using
the
it.
Apple Watch.
Yeah, the Apple Watch is always on. In fact, the new Apple Watch is even better.
Brighter.
More better. 8888 Ask Leo, the phone number. Back to the phones we go on the line from Carson, California. Tom.
Yes.
Hello, Tom. Almost called you John. Hello, Tom.
I'm frustrated. I confirmed with you a while back that Windows 11 was going to require a Microsoft account to log in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
not the Pro version, just the home version, but
just
yes,
the home version.
Yeah.
Okay. So went out and just purchased 2 brand new Windows 10 Dell computers to add to a small business that already has 4 other computers. And I think what's happened is I think Microsoft may have snuck that.
They did, but I think there's still a workaround for 10.
Yeah. So what happened was, I went through, turn it on, and you go through the initial stuff, as the region and the keyboard layout and so on and so forth. Then you get to the page, well, who's going to use this PC? What name do you want it to use? So and in the lower left-hand corner of that page, by the way, they offer you, or even better, use an online account.
Right.
So I ignored that, and
Good.
I typed in a username, hit next, and I want you to do a password, and next, and confirm the password, next. Now 3 questions. So you answer the first 2, hitting next each time, get to the third one, put in the answer, hit next. Guess what? Takes me right back to
signing in with a Microsoft account.
Who's going to use this PC? Yeah. Except this time, in front of the box where you type in a name, there is the notation, something went wrong.
Yeah. So let me tell you how to do this. So what happened in Windows 11 is there is a workaround which they disabled in Windows 11. So you really have to do it. On Windows 10, starting a couple of years ago, your experience is what happened. Because Microsoft really wants you to have a Microsoft account. Now, you could say, well, it's a money grab because once you have a Microsoft account, they can track you and blah, blah, blah. They would probably say, as often these companies do, oh, no, this is for your benefit. It's in case you forget your password. You can recover it through a Microsoft account. It may well be that they just got tired of people calling saying, I forgot my password. And so the trick on this is if you're not online, you can create a local account because it needs you to be connected to the internet to create a Microsoft account. So turn off your Wi-Fi, disconnect the Ethernet if you have it. Right. When you see the something went wrong message, click skip. And you will skip according. You're still going to get something went wrong, which is what the heck.
there wasn't. We did give you a little more information. So this was number 1 of 2 I bought. Number 2 was still in the sealed box. So I called Dell support and worked with them for a while. And of course, they said, we think it's corruption in the software.
No, it's not. It's by intent.
Yeah. So then I told him, I says, no, we re-imaged it. We did everything just to make him happy. but I had already done.
Oh my goodness! Goodness!
So then I said, no, it has to be software. Let me call.
It's Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did. At 1:03 p.m., I put it in, got the trouble ticket, and said I'm number 180.
Wow.
And so at 9 hours and 13 minutes later, at 10:16 that evening, it was me. They said, hi.
Congratulations. It's your turn.
Yeah, so needless to say, I kept running around doing other things. But their answer was, to go ahead and, because I confided in them that I went ahead and used my personal Microsoft account, and then I could go all the way through and set it up.
Right.
The problem is, under C users, it now had my name, not the name I wanted for this person. So they said, oh, no problem. Then it's fixed. You don't have a problem. Here's what you do. You just go in and change it to a local account and so on and so forth, and you can log on that way, which I did. But guess what? It still shows under... And
it's still tied to your Microsoft account. Yeah.
Pardon?
It's still tied to your Microsoft account.
Yeah. So I asked the question, and, first of all, the Microsoft guy wanted me to do everything I'd already done, wanted me to reload software and yada, yada. Yeah. So, but then I asked the question, will this change the name in the file system under C users? And he said, yes, it should.
No.
I asked
Once that's set up, it will not. You have to redo it to do that. Yeah.
So I said, it should or it will. By the way, it's all
I think it will. I might.
Text. He says, it will show the name of the user you changed it to. Well, he doesn't know what he's doing because it doesn't.
So this is why, for years, our recommendation was when you get a new version of Windows, do not create a Microsoft account. Log in with a local account. That way you can name what your directory, what your profile will be. I always use Leo. And I wouldn't get Leo. I would get Leo Laporte at Outlook.com otherwise. So I just want it to be Leo. Then if you want, and there are advantages to using your Microsoft account. There's cross-PC syncing and stuff.
Right.
But you're setting it up for other people. You don't want that.
Exactly.
So I am assuming this still works. I haven't tried it in a while, but the theory, the workaround is no internet, obviously, can't use a Microsoft account. It should let you create a local account. This no longer works in Windows 11 unless you have Pro, but it apparently, I've been told, still works on Windows 10. Just disconnect the internet.
I tried that.
It didn't work?
It didn't work because it would keep taking me right back to...
Well, it's too late. So I see. Yeah, so you need a fresh install to do this, or be creating a new account. And then where it says something went wrong, underneath that it'll say skip.
I never could get that. Even when I went back and did
it's very possible those evil dudes in Redmond, Washington have even disabled this workaround. They know about it. Obviously, they don't want to tell you about it. The Microsoft guy could have. I guess it's disabled now. Thank you, Microsoft. Another reason not to use Windows, in my opinion. Sigh. So, did you ever figure out how to do this?
To make sure, I unpackaged the other one just to prove to Dell to start with, because he wanted to send me a new hard drive and this and that and the other. But I, opened up the other box and got the other one out, and of course it does the same thing. And I've tried everything, re-images and so on. But
we have somebody in the chat room says I've been setting up. But he's using Pro. You're using Home, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's so Twisted Mister. We're not talking about Pro. We're talking about Home.
Right.
And the workaround, which I put on the show notes from where was that from? How to Geek.
Yeah.
Said disabling, and we've always said this. Paul Thurot's always said it on Windows Weekly. Turning off your internet access should work.
Yeah.
But I guess it does know. It's very possible. Microsoft's always changing this stuff.
Yeah, I have whatever it's worth. When I did boot this up, it's on version 20H2. So maybe in an earlier version.
They may have turned it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one from March 2020, so it's more than a year old. How to set up a Windows 10 with a Microsoft account.
Yeah.
Without a Microsoft, I mean.
Yeah, and they don't want to share back and forth between.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
The computers. I mean, that's what has led me to this point, because I signed up with iDrive. and not realizing that they had OneDrive turned on, and they were saying,
that's another
hey,
problem.
How come when I go to my documents, I see all this stuff in here that's not mine?
Yeah.
So the idea is to go back, and iDrive won't back up anything that's in OneDrive.
So according to this Tech Advisor article, I'll put this in the show notes, you can replace your Microsoft account with a local account. If you go to manage my Microsoft account, you could sign in with a local account instead, and then you can create a new local account. So I'll put a link to all these articles. You probably looked at all of these.
I tried, but you get frustrated after.
I don't blame you. It's honestly
the local guy. I'm not.
No, the way Microsoft has gone with Windows is increasingly upsetting. They make it harder and harder, for instance, not to use their browser.
Yes, and I use on my personal computer. I use Brave.
Yeah, love Brave.
Yeah, I love it too. It's great.
Yeah, but good luck making it your default. Because now you have to go through every possible file type and say Brave.
I did that.
Crazy.
It was painful, but I did it.
To me, that's anti-competitive behavior. That's them saying, no, we're going to make it so hard to use anything but Edge that most people won't. And I just think that's wrong. I just really think that's wrong.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know. I'll keep playing with this, and I'm going to.
We'll put some links up, and you can take a look at it and see.
Okay, I appreciate it immensely.
Yes, Tom, I do too, and I'm sorry that.
So does my son, who owns the business that this is going into.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good one.
Very much.
Sure, Tom.
Okay. Bye.
He's traveled every road in this here land. It's Johnny Jet. He's been everywhere. He is somewhere. Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Leo. I'll give you a quick glance.
You're at a restaurant at an airport. Oh, what a view of all those jet planes. It's a little rainy, a little cloudy. I'm going to think you're. We know we having big storms back east. Are you at JFK?
You got it.
Oh, nice. Man, am I good.
Nice.
Oh, what a guess. It's only the biggest airport in the world. Okay. Well, Johnny, what are you doing at Kennedy?
Just came in to surprise my dad for his 93rd birthday.
Oh, Johnny, you're such a good son.
I haven't seen him in... Yes, thank you. And I haven't seen him in 5 months. So I came in and surprised him, and now I'm going back into L.A.
So how did it feel? I mean, masks, of course. Your dad being at that age, he's fully vaccinated, probably even got his booster, but still.
Well, he got his booster. He had COVID 2 months ago, so I figure that he's pretty bulletproof, I would think.
Yeah.
But, you said wear your mask, and I've been very diligent wearing my mask, except like in places like this, and that's why I have this.
What's that?
Do you know what this is?
What's that?
This is Wind, W-Y-N-D.
He carries wind in his pocket.
It's a portable air purifier with HEPA filters. It's based in San Francisco. And actually, my buddy Mike Freed from Post Ranch Inn introduced me to them because he has them on every single table in his restaurant. And he says and they have it monitored, and they actually say that the air is cleaner indoors at his restaurant than outdoors. Which
is it blowing or sucking? If you'll forgive my French, it's so it's pulling air in from the bottom. It looks like I should explain what it looks like. I don't know. It looks like an Amazon Echo tube.
It does. Sideways, yeah.
Yeah, and on one end is an intake, and on the other end, blowing in your face, it's blowing clean HEPA filtered air, blowing the germs away.
Yeah.
I guess.
So. And every one of his restaurants, he has them like this, standing up, so it creates a bubble. And I put it on the plane. I brought it to my doctor's office the other day because he did not have an air purifier in there.
$200, kids. It's a little pricey. Oh, he's frozen.
Car coming to the... Oh, I froze. No.
Yeah. You're back. This
would be good for a car if you had a rental car, especially.
Yeah.
Well, not just a rental car. Like I just had a car service to the airport, and it started raining, so I had to roll the window up.
I'm gonna get a little neck mount and just put it on my chest everywhere I go.
So, the guy who invented it or owns a company, he has a 2-year-old, and he just flew with her, and he brought this with her, and that's why I got it for our trip to Hawaii. But then I was like, I'm going to bring it for my dad, and I feel pretty good.
Has anybody epidemiologist vetted the idea? I mean, I guess.
You know what? I would hope so. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It is $200.
$199.
And then how often do you have to change the filters?
I think once a year, but I'm not 100%.
It's a medical grade filter.
And they have an app.
Yeah. So I guess as long as we know COVID's airborne and indoor spaces are problematic, not outdoor, because outdoor there's such a volume of air and there's air movement all the time. You're creating your own movement, blowing the bad away. I guess it makes sense. I mean, I don't know, but it makes sense.
Hey,
awesome.
I'm taking their word for it right now, but we'll see how it goes because
if it makes you feel good, Johnny, that's all that matters.
And if I don't get COVID this trip, then it works.
That's very nerve-wracking, because Europe is suddenly going through the roof.
Yeah, terrible time to be going to Europe.
Are they closing off their borders yet? I mean, that's, I'm sure, next.
No, they haven't, but unfortunately, I do think it's next. And there is possibility, I think they say America should be fine because so many people are vaccinated and, there's still mask mandates in. But
that many
I don't know.
I think it's...
I know, well, in terms of Europe or some of these countries in Europe, like Romania, Germany is getting hit hard. England. My wife's aunt just died from COVID.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In England.
So sorry.
So, but listen, it's still here, unfortunately, and I think we're going to have to learn how to deal with it, unfortunately. And I think this is one way to do it. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah. And now you can get N95 masks now. That's all I wear. I know people think I'm a dork. But I'd rather be a dork.
I'm a KN95.
Yeah.
And by the way, here's a tip. I know it's a radio show, but so when on the plane, the mask, these loops hurt my ears.
Same.
So I have this Velcro strap, but they sell them on Amazon for like $8 for like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And you put it behind you, and it just takes the pressure off the top of your ears.
Yeah.
So if you're on a plane for a long flight, it's a really good option.
My N95s, my wife won't wear them. Don't go around the ears; they go around the back of the head, which means I got a really good seal.
That's good. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for.
That shot of you at Oaxaca getting blessed while you're wearing your N95, that looks good.
Yeah, the blessing involved the medicine man spitting on me, but he was spitting mezcal, which is 50 proof. I know, not enough to
It's like a top to toe cleansing.
100 proof.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing as this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Only it's mezcal instead
shower,
of
air purifier, kind of same. Yeah.
That was that's on my Instagram. Yeah, that was a weird experience. But we came home, all of us. Nobody got COVID. So, but I have I think now with this big spike going on in Europe now, 10% increase in deaths over the last week. That I'm gonna maybe stay home for a little bit.
It's worrisome. Yeah. I'm gonna stay home for a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do road trips.
Yeah. We still have our TWiT cruise to Alaska. That's planned for July. I think by then a cruise to Alaska will be fairly good. I hope fairly safe.
Let's knock on wood.
Knock on wood. We'll certainly know sooner as we get closer. That's cruise.twit.tv if you want to live dangerously. I promise not to kiss anybody. Maybe we'll all include these blowers. All rock around with these blowers, and then we decided not to go overseas again until 2023. I think that we're going to stay in the U.S. through 2023.
Well, 2022 right now is looking good for a lot of people.
Really?
But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We got the vaccine. I know. I don't understand. I thought this was going to be it. But
nothing's bulletproof.
I've read some articles saying, watch what's happening in Europe because we're next. And boy, I hope that's not the case. How's the travel economy going? Are people who rely on tourism, are they coming back?
Oh, it's been very good, but they still got to work. The inbound just came in November 8th. The foreign travelers were allowed in, foreign nationals, and the numbers didn't jump as much as I thought. The TSA pre-check, I really thought, not pre-check, just the checkpoints.
Right.
I really thought they would jump. They haven't jumped yet, but they've only been here for. Oh, it's coming. I think it's going to jump. Yeah. And they're saying that the AAA is saying that the numbers for Thanksgiving are equivalent to 2019.
Wow.
For Thanksgiving.
Wow. Okay. So I just travel with prudently.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wear your mask and think about getting one of these things.
Yeah. Wind, WYND.
IND.
It's hellowind.com. HELLOWYND.com. I'm tempted, I must say.
My buddy Mike Freed, I told you, from Post Ranch and Cavallo Point, he doesn't mess around. So I take his word.
It says engineered to create a positive pressure bubble around your head. That would have kept the mezcal out, probably. Johnny,
I think you want to keep it in, though.
He writes, the mezcal in, bad air out. He writes about travel on his blog, JohnnyJet.com. There's several really good free newsletters there. Highly recommend you subscribe. Are you posting again on Instagram and Twitter? I know you
definitely.
always.
I just posted my flight yesterday. I came in yesterday and I posted the video landing. No one could guess it was JFK. It looked like Florida.
Well, it does, because there's a big high pressure center moving out and coming in the low centers with the clouds. And Johnny Jet. Thank you, Johnny. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Oh, lordy, lordy. A clean climate bubble all around your head. All around your head. Rotate the ring to adjust the power. Pre-installed medical grade filter can be used up to 6 months, it says.
6 months, okay.
6 months. Purifies up to 8 liters of air per second. It's not noisy because you had it going, right?
No, and it's on medium, so it'll show you now it's full. And this is low.
Oh, yeah.
That LED. And you said it has an app? What does the app do?
The app tells you what the air quality is where you are.
Aha. It's got a built-in air quality.
Oh, yeah. They sell sensors, too. Yeah. Cool.
So, we just went to a restaurant with my dad and my brother. And, my brother looked at me like I was crazy for busting this thing out. But I was like, I don't care. So I'm the more cautious one.
Better not to get it. That's my motto.
Definitely. So it says it's good quality right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's the quality in your air bubble, or is that the quality?
No, this is for outside of New York City, but it just poured and hailed.
Oh,
so
I know.
they're just telling you.
I know. We're getting big storms, yeah.
But it will tell you, for some reason, I'm not connected right now. I have to work on the tracker. I'm just trying to figure this thing all out. There's a little tracker on there. But what was I going to tell you? There was a tip I had for you. I'm losing my mind. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Well, one of the things, I cashed in my miles so I could, have a quiet spot in the lounge. It's first class.
Is that the
dining.
lounge?
Yeah, this is first class dining at the flagship lounge.
Nice.
Which is really exclusive. It's my first time in here, actually. I mean, it was like a 5-star or 5-diamond restaurant.
Nice. For free? Or do you pay for the food?
No, it's free.
Wow.
It's all free.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you need to get in there?
You do a first class ticket on their flagship. So either between like LA and New York or Europe or Asia. And
sweet deal, man.
Yeah. So you can use your miles. Thank you.
Yeah, she keeps bringing you things.
Tomato bisque.
Tomato bisque. I love that.
And Pellegrino.
Butternut squash.
I want a grilled grilled cheese sandwich and tomato bisque, please.
No.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah, that's what I would have liked, but it was more fancy.
Yeah.
So
too fancy for that.
Chicken nuggets, please.
All right, enjoy your meal, Johnny. Thank you.
Take care.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Chicken nuggets.
Just imagining going to a 5-star restaurant and ordering chicken nuggets.
Do you have chicken nuggets?
That'd be hilarious. To me, not to the chef.
We do on the children's menu. Would you like to get the children's menu?
You'll have to eat in the ball pit.
Leo Laporte, the tech guy, joined by Mikah Sargent, tech guy Jr. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's not. You're my tech guy. How about that? Arizona Lou on the line. Hello, Arizona Lou.
Hey, I'm doing well. You can be my Spidey sense, maybe. I hope.
Lou is a comedian. A comedian, folks. Yeah, what's the matter, Arizona Lou?
Yeah, I just got back from Alaska doing comedy, and I've been shot 3 times. So
Shot by I hope not by a pistol, but by a vaccine.
Vaccine.
Okay.
And you're my last hope here.
What's the matter, Lou?
When I book my comedy gigs, I need to record the conversation of the telephones on my cell phone, and I've read reviews. I spent a whole day installing and finding out they didn't work, and then uninstalling apps because I am on Google Fi, so I need to be on the internet, and some of them will not. They won't record while they're on the internet. They can't record directly. Some of them you have to put them on speakerphone.
Oh, that's cuckoo.
Record. But none of them that I have found can just simply record the telephone call.
So one solution would be to, instead of using Google Fi, but make your phone call with Google Voice, which has a built-in recording capability.
Now, is my phone compatible with Google?
Sure. All Android phones are. You download an app called Google Voice, and then when you switch on the recording, when you're on the call, you press 4 to start recording, and it'll say, "Call is being recorded." And it does that for legal reasons. It depends where you are, Lou, but some states are two-party notification states where essentially everybody on the phone call has to be notified that you're recording.
Yeah. Arizona's a single. Most of them are single.
Yeah, most of them are single, which is silly. I don't even understand. I guess the idea of single is, well, some third party like the FBI can't record your call, but single means only one party needs to know. Anyway, it's a good idea it announces the call as long as you don't mind that. Mm-hmm. And then the call, so once you're done recording, press 4 again. Everybody will say, "The call recording has ended." And then the calls show up as voicemail in your voicemail tab in Google Voice. So to me, that's the easiest way to do that. And it's free.
Google Fi.
Now, actually, Fi is interesting because when I signed up for Fi, and I love Fi, it said, "Okay, we're going to take your Google Voice account away from you," but I still have a Google Voice app. I think you can still do it. That's an interesting question. Why not? People without Fi can do it. Why would they disadvantage you? Let me just see here. My Google Voice. I bet I could still record.
You have Fi like I do.
Yes.
So you may be able to do what I hope I can do.
Yes, exactly. Something like that. So that's the first thing I'd try. I'm sure there are other apps, but I think the legalities of it kind of stop a lot of these apps from call recording as a third-party app. It's also a little tricky. That's why that one app said, we'll put it on the speakerphone, because they're just using the microphone in the phone to record the audible, speaker sound, because they can't get into the actual audio, right? The reason Google Voice works is because you're using Google Voice to make the call. I'm going to guess that you can probably record calls if you use other apps like WhatsApp or the Facebook app to make those calls. I bet you they also have a recording feature built into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I need to turn on the speaker, I can just record it with.
No, but that's no good. Yeah, you don't. That's a silly workaround. You can record WhatsApp calls. So I would bet that anything that is making an internet call would have that capability to record. So if you open WhatsApp, you dial the call. Oh, you need the Cube Call widgets in your app. So there's a widget that you add called Cube Call that will let you then record. Just try the Google Voice.
WhatsApp?
Yeah, that's WhatsApp. Do you use that for messaging ever? Very popular. Yeah, it's outside of the U.S., it's the #1 messaging app. I bet you Telegram, which is another messaging app. The thing that all of these, they used to be just text messages. And all of them now offer audio and video calls. So let me see if Telegram, if you can record that. Yep, there's also, you start what they call a voice chat, and then you can record it. So I would bet that that's pretty common. Yeah.
Can I plug my website?
Arizona Lou's comedy is at
ArizonaLou.com.
Well, that was hard. And you do a lot of charity work, I know. That's why I'm happy to give you a plug.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm now doing free benefit shows for veterans posts across the country.
Nice. And and you went up to Alaska to do a show?
I did 3 shows up there.
Nice.
For American Legion and Elks Lodge.
Nice.
And it was cool.
I bet it was. Yeah. Chilly, in other words. Yes. But I hope the reception was warm.
It was expected, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, nothing is these days. I hope the reception was warm for you. If you want to If you want to book Arizona Lou, just ArizonaLou.com. Is that right?
Yep. Go to my press kit or my press kit page, and it's all there.
Always a pleasure.
I have all 1,259 appearances listed so far.
Wow. This is a second career for you, right, Lou?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I started when I was about 72.
How old are you now?
Well, I was born in MCMXLI.
XLI.
28.
1941. Yeah. Wow.
You are so good, I can't stand it.
Lou, it's a pleasure. Always a pleasure talking to you.
You take care. Hey, thanks, and I'll try these tips.
Yeah, try those. I've always used Google Voice to record, but you did raise an interesting question. Once you're using Google Fi, I'm not sure what you do. I think it'll still work. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Leo. We record your phone calls. We do. I think the law says it's if you're calling a radio show, it's presumed you understand you're going to appear on the air and your call will be recorded. But I guess I should say that, And then we take that recording, we put up on the website, techguylabs.com. Also, many of our affiliate stations put out podcasts, and you can go to iHeartRadio, the iHeart podcast app, and you can listen to the Tech Guy after the fact there too. So, and of course, on the website, we put up audio and video after the show, techguylabs.com. Time to take a little break for news at the top of the hour. Mike and I'll be right back with more of your calls right after this. The Tech Guy Podcast brought to you today by Bandwidth. You're probably saying, well, duh, it's a podcast. Not that bandwidth. I'm talking uppercase B bandwidth. Bandwidth is a cloud native, the very first cloud native true carrier. And that makes them something extra special, especially if you're looking at migrating your Microsoft Teams to direct routing. That could be complicated, but Bandwidth's Duet for Microsoft Teams empowers you to simplify your move with software-driven SIP, dynamic E911 capabilities, industry-leading expertise. And I got to tell you, there are legal issues with migrating. You know about Ray Baum's Act, R-A-Y-B-A-U-M? It's a federal law regulation requiring that every enterprise using E911 has to provide a dispatchable location to emergency services. Not just the street address, not just the what 3 words, but granular information like building, floor, room number. It makes sense. Especially in a high-rise, or any office building, the emergency services can get to the front door, but can they get to the employee in need? And it's even a bigger problem because these soft phones, these employees could very well be moving around, not just within the building, but to different campuses, to remote offices, to home, as they work and collaborate. And providing accurate location for public safety is absolutely, it's important for their safety, but it's also a requirement. Enter Duet for Microsoft Teams from Bandwidth. Bandwidth leverages its advanced dynamic E911 for Teams solution to identify the location of a Teams-connected user at the time of the emergency call and then natively route that 911 call across their secure, highly reliable, nationwide network and provide absolutely the caller's current location, floor, building, all of that to help mitigate compliance concerns and really, most importantly, to keep your employees safe. It's also the easiest way to do direct routing migrations. Bandwidth's Duet for Microsoft Teams gives you greater control and value by helping you decouple your telephony from Teams. It's actually 40% less expensive than Microsoft's calling plans. And because you're working directly with a cloud-native carrier, you get the benefits of that. Failover control, call forwarding, real-time reroutes, and all on the Teams platform. So your employees love it. They're using Teams. You'll love it because you're saving money and because you're getting the best possible service. I'll give you a great example. A lot of other solutions, you actually dial 911 and say, can you tell where I am? Not with Teams, not with Bandwidth's Duet for Teams. They have a 933 number, so you can easily verify the location information and make sure it meets compliance standards, and you're not burdening public safety with real 911 calls. That's just a little example. They're a partner, not a provider. You're going to get a dedicated onboarding specialist, a 24/7 NOC, expert support teams. They're going to be with you every step of the way. And among other really nice features, you can group your users in any way you want, department, floor, office, whatever, which means it's very easy to trigger these ports on schedule and then roll it back if anything goes wrong. And it's all seamless. That makes it much easier to make that migration. And Bandwidth support, they're absolutely the best. 9.8 customer satisfaction rating, white glove customer support. Probably the proof's in the pudding. I mean, Zoom uses Bandwidth, Genesis uses Bandwidth, RingCentral, Google all use Bandwidth because they're the best. And by the way, if you're more than just a Teams shop, no problem. Bandwidth can help simplify telecom migration to the cloud with a bring your own carrier solution for RingCentral as well. That's what we use in addition to Microsoft Teams. Check out Bandwidth's Duet for Teams and Duet for RingCentral. See how you can orchestrate your move to the cloud with flexibility, with control, with the best. Request your proof of concept at bandwidth.com/twit. Thank you, Bandwidth, for supporting the tech guy. Bandwidth.com/twit. And now, back to the show. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk computers and the internet and home theater and digital photography and this home of science. You know, I always think about this because technology is science. Mm-hmm. It's just applied science, right?
Yeah.
So if you love technology, if you think, wow, this smartphone's pretty amazing in my pocket, thank science. Thank a scientist who came up with all this stuff. So we celebrate science here. 8888 Ask Leo is the phone number. If you have a question, a comment, a suggestion, you want to talk about high tech. It's funny because if science didn't work, your phone wouldn't work, right?
That's true.
Right?
From the battery to the Wi-Fi. I mean, none of it.
How about this one? If Einstein, right, considered amazing, right? Because he did a lot of this in his head. He just thought about it and said, there's probably a correspondence between the amount of energy in matter and the speed of light. And he was right. And later has been proven so. So in his general theory of relativity, one of the side effects of relativity is as the gravity decreases or increases, it changes the speed of light. And it changes time, in effect, by the amount of gravity. Now, you would think, well, that's nice, but it's pretty abstract. We don't live next to black holes. But GPS would not work if we didn't make relativistic adjustments to the clocks, because even though satellites aren't that high up, they're far enough away outside of Earth's gravity well that there is actually a change in time, and we have to accommodate that. So if it weren't for relativity, your phone wouldn't know where you are.
You're telling me serious time traveling. Every time it gives me directions.
Every time it has to adjust for relativity. How about that?
That is a cool factoid.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry. I don't know why that came up. Rancho Cucamonga? No. Rancho Mirage. You want it to be Cucamonga, don't you, Michael?
I did.
Mike is on the line. Hi, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
We're well. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I wanted to discuss something with you, and I think it's...
I feel like I'm being brought to the principal's office here when you say it that way.
No.
Okay, good. Okay.
More the other way around. I think I kind of got into a hack situation, and I don't think it did a lot of damage, but I'm kind of curious to tell you about it and see what you think.
Good. I don't mind being the clearinghouse for that kind of stuff. We were talking, I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the show, about using your spidey sense and trying to kind of, if you feel in your gut something's off about this, and it's fine to call me and say, hey, I feel like something was off. What happened? So what happened to you?
Well, my Lenovo laptop was Windows 10, I guess it is, froze up, and I got this sort of blue screen that said, you got this spyware and you call this number and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, seeing as how I have nothing of any particular importance on the computer, I thought, well, maybe I'd call it. And I got it, and they wanted to put a remote thing on there, and Norton said it was safe. So I thought, okay.
Well, there you go. If Norton says it's safe.
Anyway, after a while, I'm thinking, this just doesn't make any sense, and I turned the computer off.
Good man. Your spidey sense, see? Yep.
And anyway, so my next question is, what do I do?
Okay, so let's talk about what happened. So it was a scam. You will never get a pop-up that says call Microsoft, ever. That's not how they work. Anytime you see that, that's a scam. So the next question is, well, how does a scammer benefit? Norton was right. The remote access software they want to use isn't the problem. The problem is, once they have remote access to your computer, they can put other stuff on there without your knowledge. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is, very often they'll say, well, we can fix this, but it's going to cost you $300. So they'll ask you for money. That's a pretty straightforward scam. Of course, in order to get your money, they're going to get your credit card, and that might even be the jackpot from their point of view. So there's three different things they're trying to do. They're trying to get money out of you. They're trying to get credit card and other information out of you. And ultimately, they may be trying to hack your computer so that they can use it down the road to make money. How would they make money? By sending spam or by using your computer and many others to attack systems, things like that. So it is always a scam when you get that pop-up. Never respond to it. It's always a scam.
Well, I couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, well, so the way they do that is essentially using your browser. It's possible, using JavaScript, to pop up a screen that looks like a blue screen of death. It's a fake that looks like a blue screen of death and makes your computer unresponsive. That's because the browser is running in the background and there's a JavaScript running that is occupying your computer. And the truth is, if you did Control-Alt-Delete and went to the task manager or just shut your computer down, you'd be fine. But it's just a fraudulent web page that looks like it's a blue screen of death. And here's the thing to understand. Any window that you see on your screen can be duplicated by a web page easily, including your bank's login, blue screen of death, all sorts of stuff. Your PC ran into a problem and needs to restart. We're just collecting some error info. Then we'll start for you. And then if you would like to resolve your problem on the phone, you can call this 800 number. That's the part that's not real. Everything else is real, but that's the part that's not real. In fact, I'll put a little ZDNet article that actually shows this blue screen of death. And they're talking about it because Microsoft put out the word. So the question is, what happened? What were the bad guys able to do? How long were they on your system?
Oh, couple of minutes, I guess.
Chances are they didn't get to do anything bad. You unplugged it. You disconnected before they were able to. Uninstall that remote access software.
I was watching them scroll a bunch of stuff, and none of it looked as if they were doing anything other than reading registries and stuff. But anyway, just didn't seem right. So
Good man.
When I
trust that spidey sense.
What do I do?
Well, it's impossible to know what they did. They can do stuff without you seeing it. In remote access programs, they can upload registry hacks and so forth. So the stuff that was happening on the screen may not have been the only stuff. It is conceivable that you have malware on your system. It is furthermore conceivable, in fact likely, that Norton would not necessarily know that. This is one problem I have with antivirus. Huh?
What good is it if it doesn't?
Well, that's a good question. I don't generally recommend, especially on Windows, since you already have Microsoft already has an antivirus on your system. I feel like antiviruses are essentially, here's the problem with antiviruses. They potentially can, even good ones, can potentially open up flaws to your system because they all hook deep into your system. So they have to be 100% secure. There are cases of Norton, McAfee, and others not being secure. So there's problem number one. They could actually make your system more vulnerable. Problem number two, which is a bigger problem, is you feel like you're safe. So you felt like, oh, well, Norton scanned this remote access, I'm safe. Well, yeah, the problem wasn't the remote access, it was the other stuff they were doing with the remote access. But it gave you a false sense of security. It's like traffic lights in Cairo, Egypt. They don't have them anymore, by the way. They took them out because it gave people a false sense of security that the red light means somebody would stop. They never did. So they just said, you know what, no traffic lights. Nobody's obeying them. Same thing with it's a false sense of security. So your instinct is number one defense. You got to keep your system up to date, always apply the updates for anything on your system, every piece of software. Make sure it's always up to date, especially Windows, especially your browsers. Use your spidey sense. If something seems weird, don't let somebody have access to your computer ever, 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 unless you're absolutely sure that it's safe. And Microsoft, by the way, Microsoft does use remote access. Some companies do use remote access. But if it's not Microsoft, then it's risky. I think you're probably all right.
What's my next move here?
Absolute prudence, if you're really worried, would dictate erasing the computer and starting over, a fresh install of Windows. I don't think that you have to do that. I think it's probable he didn't get to doing what he was about to do if you unplugged it in a couple of minutes. You should scan it.
Anything on this computer that's a much, it's sort of just, I read email.
Yeah, I mean, it's generally not to steal stuff. Generally, it's to add your computer to an attack, a fleet of attack computers, a botnet that they will then use to send spam, which is very common, or another thing they do, once they've got it, and you wouldn't even know your computer's under their control. Once they've got control of your computer, then they go on, one common form of attack is, here comes Super Bowl Sunday. Online betting companies are going to go crazy. This is the biggest day of the year. So you go to them and you say, it would be a shame if you were unable to take any bets prior to the Super Bowl. If you give us $100,000, we'll make sure you don't. And of course, it's a whole protection racket. They have a botnet of 1 million computers, including yours, and they can take that system down by having all of you attack it at the same time. That kind of thing.
Well, let's say I wanted to reinstall Windows. How would I do that?
If you've got nothing on it, this is easy. Is it Windows 10?
I believe it's 10.
Yeah. So you don't even need a serial number. If you Google Microsoft Media Creation Tool, you can download Windows 10 from Microsoft, put it on a USB key, and install Windows. Erase the drive and reinstall Windows. That's the only way to be absolutely sure there's nothing on there. It's probably sufficient in your case just to use your Norton, run your Norton. Microsoft's Defender has a thorough scan. You could run that. People are suggesting malware bytes. Yeah. The problem with all of these things is the more stuff you put on your computer, the more vulnerable you are. That's why I don't like to put too much stuff on there. So
right.
I think you're probably fine. I think you're okay. But if you really wanted to be extra prudent, then I would download a Windows 10 installer from Microsoft. Don't get it from anywhere else. And then and erase your drive and reinstall Windows.
So Windows 10 installer, now it would know I have the license and everything.
Yeah, it's automatic. Once you've got Windows 10 installed on a computer, Microsoft keeps track of that. They call it an entitlement, and you no longer need to do anything to prove you own it. It should authenticate immediately.
So if I go to install it again, does it automatically erase, or is that?
No, you'll need to go in the options and say erase the drive. It'll try to upgrade, or it'll mess with. It'll say, "Oh, I see Windows 10 is here. I'll just update it." No, say no. Go in the options. Say no. Format the drive and start over.
And when I format the drive and there's no OS in there, how do I then?
Well, that's why you have that little. That's why you're going to download this installer and put it on a USB key. It's a little complicated. You have to set up your computer to boot to the USB key. That might involve changing some settings so that it'll boot up into the USB key, and then you can. You actually probably should be able to run the installer from your booted Windows 10. Just put the USB key in there, run it. And in the options, it'll say you can erase the drive.
Mike, we'll have a link on techguylabs.com to Microsoft's support document that shows you exactly what you need to do to refresh, reset, or restore your Windows PC so that you'll be able to completely erase it if you choose.
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, nowadays I think you can just reset it without even downloading anything because they have a special hidden partition with Windows 10 on it. Yeah, that's right. So that's even easier.
So that'll be in this link there. That you're
we're going to put that up at techguylabs.com.
Great. Very much appreciated.
You know what? Your Spidey sense saved you, Mike. That's really good. That's really good.
Well, my only thinking was, well, there's nothing much on this computer. I don't really care. I'll see if it's real. And the farther I got with them, the more it seemed ridiculous.
Yeah, it felt a little strange. Yeah, you were right to trust your gut. That's really your best defense. An antivirus is not. And really, that's the thing that, in a way, is the most dangerous about antivirus. You feel like, I'm cool. I got nothing to worry about. I got Norton. Yeah, no. 8888, ask Leo. That's the phone number if you want to talk high tech. I think we have very good radar for something feeling a little off. It's just something not right about this.
Bogosity.
You like that word?
I do. I bought bogosity.tech.
Just now?
Earlier. It now forwards to this particular episode of The Tech Guy. Maybe I'll do something different later, but for now.
Bogosity.tech. Wow, that's good. That's a good site. Our show. Mikah Sargent, everybody. Let's hear it for him. I think Mikah should be on Sunday's show, too. I agree. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I was told this is yacht rock.
Okay.
This is a genre called yacht rock.
You do have some sort of loafery boat shoes on today.
Yeah.
So that works.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad. 8888, ask Leo. I am wearing my stretch pants, too.
Okay, you're all ready for
I'm very
yacht
relaxed. I'm ready for yacht rock. 8888, ask Leo. The phone number, website. We put, you hear us refer to this all the time. We put links, more information up on the website. That's free. There's no sign up. techguylabs.com. You can even leave a comment if you want. In fact, I encourage you to. It's a great way to add to the value. This site is, I think, a very useful place for people to go. There's a good search. techguylabs.com. 8888, ask Leo on the line. Dr. Mom. Hi, Dr. Mom, my own personal internet physician.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
I'm good. Do you know Dr. Mom, Mikah?
Yeah, we got to play on TWiT After Hours one time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Mom.
Hi. I'm also making him spend money because he's a fellow crocheter, and I just sent him a link to a very expensive kit.
An incredible pattern, but very expensive.
What's the pattern?
It's this beautiful robot.
Oh,
I'll post the
crochet.
link was posted in the chat, but the wheels of the robot actually spin. Oh, very clever.
You know, you can bring your crocheting in.
Here's what I'll do.
Yeah. Like Madame
Idle Hands.
Madame Defarge knitting at the guillotine. What can we do for you, Dr. Mom?
Well, just calling. Two things happened with the Amazon devices while you were away and I was away.
Uh-oh.
The big one was, and it's been in the news and everywhere the past week, is if you weren't aware, you could use a skill to have the Amazon device read your email and let you know email came in.
Oh, that's nice.
Respond by voice.
What do you say? You say, Echo, read my mail?
It lets you know. Well, not anymore. It died last week.
Oh, isn't that funny? You know, Apple killed Siri's ability to do that with iOS 15. I wonder, maybe there's a reason both of them stopped doing that, huh? Well, I didn't lose anything because I didn't know it could do it in the first place.
I used to use it for one email account, which was a work one, which all I needed to know was if something popped up. And then I would go to my phone or my computer and look at the email. The voice response was terrible. I didn't use it for anything else.
You know, it's so funny because that's the first thing I do on every email client is turn off email notifications. I know I have mail. I don't want to know any more than that. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Oh, we ran out of time. That's why she played that sound so soon, because I had gone over. Thank you for keeping us honest.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the timer. No. Anyway, what else, Dr. Mom? What else is new?
If you notice, more hospitals are now putting, again, Amazon devices at the patient's bedside.
Really?
It's a way of using an intercom and connect with. Two issues I see with that. Amazon hasn't signed the HIPAA small
There's
business
no
agreement,
privacy. Yeah.
which means you can't get on this device and talk to grandma's kids and say, by the way, her test results are positive and such.
Right.
Because that's not private.
Right.
And if you remember, we talked about a year ago about Amazon had now a guest mode where if you ran a B&B, somebody else could use your device remotely. Well, if you remember, it records everything you said. So, again, it becomes a big privacy issue.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're putting them in hospitals, given how sensitive people are about their echoes. But maybe that's just the people I know. Maybe the general public isn't.
I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot syringe. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like a bad idea to put those in hospitals. But on the other hand, as an entertainment device, I like it. You know, hospital TVs are notoriously awful.
Oh, if you're going to sit there, if I had to be back in a patient, I'd sit there and say, play my book from Audible.
Exactly. I do that all the time. That's one of the reasons I have echoes everywhere, because I'm always listening to my book.
Yeah, but it's the privacy issues. I just think they're begging for somebody to get into trouble with that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And have any of you guys gotten any of those small devices that we all paid for Amazon to make?
No,
I have.
You got the sticky notes. I saw your review. I was so mad. I'm still waiting for mine.
I haven't gotten mine either.
Okay, see, and apparently a lot of people had that problem.
These are the Amazon, what do they call them, the day ones?
Or the day one edition products. And I've seen several people say they put in for it and they did not get a shipping notification. I, for some reason, did. I have mine, and it sits in the kitchen area, and it works very well.
It's under my not yet shipped.
Okay, so you do still have it. It's just not. Maybe you're part of the second or third wave.
Yeah.
Unless you cancel out of spite.
Wow, I have 13 unshipped orders. Most of those are coming tomorrow, though. But
which one did you order?
Yeah, not yet
Dr.
shipped.
Mom?
We'll email you with an estimated delivery date. I ordered it March 14th.
I'm not sure when I ordered mine. I know I hopped on that one.
How do you like it?
It works very well. I was actually very impressed with how well it worked and what you can print on it. And
so what do you just say? Echo print my shopping list or something?
Echo print my shopping list. Echo print.
That's what I wanted to do.
A note. Echo print my to-do list. You can also do mazes and stuff, but that part's silly.
I do notice that there is a buy it again button.
That's a little odd.
I ain't buying it again until I get my first one.
Exactly. You got to get the first one out.
So you haven't gotten any of them, Doctor? What did you get?
I put in for the sticky note. I actually wanted to see what the smart scale was. They decided not to make that.
Right.
Yeah. And I put in a request for the robot. I have yet to be told that I'm in the early buy for the robot.
How much is the robot?
$1 billion.
Yeah.
No, it's very expensive. You know?
Day one editions. So invite only, blah, blah, blah. The Amazon Astro. Oh, that's the one that goes up and down. That's right. I remember that.
I'm also waiting for the display for the wall. I think that's
that one's really cool.
Echo Show.
Yeah. And the Always Home cam, the drone cam?
Oh, that drone cam scares me. It would hurt one of my dogs.
That wall display is interesting, but you're going to have to figure out how to run power to it. either you're going to have a cord hanging down the wall.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Or you're going to have the wires pulled up through the wall to do. If you were building a house, I might put one in.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm not going to tear my walls apart to do it. And I have grandchildren and cats and a dog.
Yanking, yeah.
Hanging on the wall is asking for a disaster.
I always get those cable runners, and then I paint them the same color as the wall.
Lil, it's a pleasure talking to you. I got to run.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dr. Mom. You got the best of the tech guy. Mikah Sargent, Leo Laporte, answering the phones on the line from Redding, California. Patrick. Hello, Patrick.
Hello, Leo.
Hello, Patrick. Yes, sir.
I have a brand new phone.
Congratulations. What kind of phone did you get?
A Galaxy S21 Ultra.
Sweet. Top of the line, baby.
They basically conned me into buying it because they upgraded my S10, gave me $800 for a phone I paid $650 for.
Hey, that's hard to say no to that.
Exactly. So I got this phone for $400, which I can pay for the next week.
Well worth it. It's got all those cameras. It's a nice phone.
I couldn't pass it up. I love the phone.
Yeah.
But I don't love the stupid little fingerprint dot on the screensaver.
So you can turn that off. The Samsung.
Go
ahead.
I'm talking about on the screen protector.
Oh, on the screen protector.
Yeah. He told me that I wouldn't see it when the phone was on.
That's hysterical. So wait a minute. So because on the Pixel, because it's got also a through the screen fingerprint reader on the Pixel, on the screen there's a little outline of a fingerprint, and that's because you really have to hit it pretty accurately to get it to work. I guess the Samsung is also using that through the screen fingerprint. You can turn that off on the Samsung and just use the face recognition or a pin.
I intend to because I don't have fingerprints anyways because I'm a mechanic.
Yes. I always wondered about people who don't have fingerprints. What do you guys do? So you just don't do it.
Face or pattern.
Yeah.
So my question is, do you know anything about the liquid screen protector?
So is that a protector that came with the Samsung, or was it an aftermarket protector?
It was an aftermarket that they sold me, and he applied it, and he told me it's got this little circuit that you'll see when the screen is off.
That's so annoying. So they did that. They put that on the screen protector, but you see it all the time?
What it is that the screen protector is slightly thinner right there so that it can read your fingerprint.
Oh, okay. I get it. Take it up. In my opinion, have you always used a screen protector?
Yes.
Okay. I always take them off. Oh, you're a mechanic, of course. You don't want to get grease and oil and grit on that. I understand. Yeah.
Yes.
So there are other screen protectors. That probably is the solution. Although,
I don't think
they might all do that. They might all do that
because it's
so they can read it.
Right.
Yeah.
The two that I have seen through Verizon have this. So my question is, but they also have a liquid one that doesn't. They're pouring on. There's some liquid one. Do you know anything about those?
I don't.
I've also never heard of those.
So they pour it on and it dries.
Yeah, and he says it makes it like if the screen hardness is a 5, it brings it up to a 9, which is slightly higher than this. But
I wouldn't do that. I'll be honest.
I said, well, I've broken these screen protectors.
Exactly. And the idea of a screen protector, especially the tempered glass ones, is that they break before the screen does. Then what? If you pour it on, then what do you do?
That was my question, and he said, well, then, yeah, it breaks. Okay, so you're not helping me any.
I do see some screen protectors with holes where the fingerprint reader would go, but that may not be the best solution either.
No, you're still going to see it when you're...
Yeah, you're going to see the hole.
Watch a movie and you got this big round circle in the middle of the screen.
I never thought about this. So I'm looking at, and the chat room is also... Oh, you, Mikah Sargent, have also provided me this link to the xda-developers.com best Galaxy S21 screen protectors. And they have some recommendations. I don't know if they're going to tell you if you see the fingerprint or not. I'm looking at some of them, and I don't see anything where the fingerprint is, but that doesn't mean necessarily.
Yeah, only one of the recommendations has the hole for the fingerprint. All the rest of them do not. There's even one that says military-grade protection.
Well, then,
For a mechanic, that might be perfect.
Mil-spec screen protector.
Buy the military grades, but
yeah.
if it doesn't...
Well, the good news is only $9 on Amazon, the Armor Suit Military Shield Screen Protector. I'm looking at their images, and I don't see anything for the fingerprint. What you really want is one that says, will not work with fingerprint reader, because you don't care. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I, off the top of my head, I do not know. If anybody does, call us, 8888 Ask Leo. I am looking for them to say somewhere in the description of this, works with fingerprint reader, and I don't, I don't see that, which means maybe it doesn't work with a fingerprint reader, which in this case is what you want.
Bingo.
Perfect cut. You can apply it yourself. It's nice when they apply it for you, but yeah, it's not that hard to do.
I might just get it and take it in and say, here, you apply
do
it,
it.
give me my $60 back.
Yeah, $60 they charge you for your screen protector?
I never buy from the carrier, the screen protectors.
That's awful. This is $9.
I normally don't, but I don't want to walk out the door with this $1,200.
Totally understand.
Yeah. Man, when I first got the Galaxy Fold, I didn't get a case or anything yet, and I'm going around taking pictures, and I'm terrified. I'm thinking, if I drop this thing, it's $1,500 down the tubes. Oh, don't drop it. So I understand how you feel. They don't mention the fingerprint reader. This might be perfect for you.
I could buy it and then
for $9.
I can always send it back to Amazon.
Yeah, $9. Look at it.
It's $9.
Yeah. So we'll put in the show notes at techguylabs.com this article from XDA developers. They have 8 or 9 recommendations, only one of which has a visible screen, a fingerprint hole. So,
and that's
techguylabs.com. Is there anyone in the chat room has a Galaxy S21 Ultra with a screen protector that doesn't have this problem? Here's a web short says the Skinomi, Skinomi, it's matte, which I'm not sure I would want. I like a glossy screen, but I don't use a screen protector, but then I get a new phone every 3 seconds, so I'm sitting here with 3 phones right now.
Last me 2 years.
Yeah. You should. Any reasonable person would, yeah.
Real quick, I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
USB-C is now USB-C on both ends and a higher wattage charger for this phone. They said I can use the other charger also, but it's not recommended.
So these fast charging phones have specially made chargers and specially made cables for fast charging. So it's always the recommendation to use the charger and the cable that came with the phone. Your mileage may vary. The cable probably is less important than the charger. But
believe it or not, they didn't give me a cable charger with the phone.
Yeah, nowadays they don't. So they sell one. They sell them. Right. What you probably want is something that'll do PD, which is power delivery, and that is a USB-C technology that gives you high speed. What we should do is look up on the S21 Ultra what the specs are for the power delivery. It might be the new, I think 3.1 just came out, PD 3.1, but you just want to get the one that whatever it supports, and that'll give you the fastest charging.
25 watts versus 12 watts, or maybe
It's more than, no, that sounds right, but it's more than just the wattage. It's also the technology coming down the wire, believe it or not. Anchor, somebody in the chat room saying go with Anchor, and I agree. I love Anchor chargers. There'll probably be an Anchor, ANKER, that is designed for the S21 Ultra. If they say it works, in fact, there was a great interview with the CEO and founder, Steve Yang of Anchor, talking about how complicated it is to get the right charger now for your phone. So I think they're going to do it right. ANKER, Leo Laporte, the tech guy. They have fast chargers for the S21, $43. They're not cheap. Let's see, this one is for, Yeah, see, it looks like the S21 is a little different. Looks like it's 3.0. And that's probably what you want to get. So Anker makes one that's specifically for the S21 as well as laptops, $43.
I ordered two of them there was a twin pack on Amazon for $19. I might want to not get that, is what you're probably telling me.
You want to just make sure it matches. It's not merely wattage; it's also the technology. And I guess Anker's calling this. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get to my order.
Anker calls it IQ. There's IQ, which is Anker's brand, and then there's PD, which is a standard. Let me just, S21 Ultra charger.
I haven't ordered it yet. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. They have this super fast. They have this super fast charging. So that's something they've done uniquely.
Okay. Okay. So I'm okay with. I've got one here for $19.95 for two of them, and it's 25 watts.
It's the wattage is good, but you want to make sure it does PD 3.0 or Quick Charge 2.0, which is a Qualcomm technology. Does it do PD 3?
It says PD USB-C.
Yeah, but it's not 3. You need 3.0.
No, it doesn't.
So the S21 requires either PD 3.0 up to 25 watts or Quick Charge 2.0, which is a Qualcomm. So they've changed these darn. So the wattage is not the only thing. You need to also make sure it supports the protocol.
Scooter X posted one in the chat that checks all the boxes.
Okay.
We do have a link to one from Anker.
Anker's really good.
Link that also.
If Anker says it works with the S21 fast charge, then Anker's not going to lie to you. I'll find the article because it's an interesting issue.
I love this phone.
Oh, it's the cameras. Do you love the cameras?
From what little bit I've played with them, I've had this. I haven't even had 24 hours yet.
There's an article in The Verge, interview with Stephen Yang, founder of Anker, about why charging phones is such a complex business. So it's right up your alley. It's just gotten crazy because of all these protocols now. It's much more complicated. It used to be you just get a wall wart with the phone and you'd use that. Now they don't even bundle them. Thanks, App.
That's what the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So. Anyway, hey, a pleasure talking to you. Enjoy your new phone, Patrick. What kind of mechanic are you?
General mechanics. Right now I'm working on postal vehicles at a mom and pop shop.
You're ready for the new electric postal vehicles?
Thank God, no. I'm working on the old ones. I'm 61 years old.
You don't have to worry about the electric.
They stick me on the old LLVs, the old things.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome.
I'm happy with that. That's my era. Leave me alone.
Patrick, a pleasure. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye. Love it. I love these guys. Hey, Dickie D.
Leo, how you doing, pal?
I am so good. How are you?
I'm good, too. Thank you.
Is the storm pass over?
Whoa. It was incredible.
Oh, he's got his flannel on.
He's wearing the flannels. It's time. Lots of thunder, lightning, very, very frightening.
Yeah. Hail?
Hail? Hail, no.
Yeah. Hail, yes.
Hail, yes.
How big was the hail?
No, probably quarter of a penny. Not terribly big.
Smaller than a bread box.
I like the big ones.
Yeah.
The ones that'll blow a hole in your
car.
Is this disco? The cheesy synthesizer sets the era. Let's hear when it really kicks in.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. The reason I ask, Dick Debartolo, or Disco Dickie D as we call him, is our Mads magazine's maddest writer and our gizmo wizard and a big fan of the disco. And we thought we'd give him some nice music because it was a very scary day in New York City earlier today. Hello, Dickie D.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Big storm.
The first time I ever had thunder that shook the house.
What?
I mean, it was frightening.
And when he says house, he means like 10-story apartment building, right?
Well, 5-story.
5.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it used to be 10 stories. Then we had the
Before
thunder.
the thunder.
Now it's 5 stories.
Wow. Scary. All right.
Scary time.
Well, I'm glad you survived, and I'm glad you're joining us every week. Dick calls in with some crazy gizmo or gadget.
Yeah, you know what? This is a crazy app, but I told John, and John said, ask Leo, because Leo has used this app, and I think he said something about nose and... anyway, the app it was at Pepcom, okay?
Yeah.
And when the guy explained it, he said, okay, you want to find somebody, and you give your street address, and he can go there.
Right.
But suppose you want to find someone on the beach, or they're hiking.
Well, I'll give you an example.
Meet up with them.
I ordered a new Apple MacBook, $4,000 laptop, and we gave the address, which is written on our door, 1351B Redwood Way. But apparently the American Express guy, the Federal Express guy, couldn't find the door and actually sent it back to Apple saying, I don't know where he is. What? If they had only used what 3 words?
Exactly. So I didn't realize that this app has been around for a while.
Do you want to know what our address is? If I'd given Glow Water.
Oh, you have it written down?
I have a plaque. Goodness. I have a plaque. They'll send you a plaque, by the way, if you go to What 3 Words on the web. Our What 3 Words is Glow Walnut Nasal.
Oh, I did way better than you.
What's your What 3 Words? No, actually, don't say it out loud. People might come to you.
Oh, well, my address is on my website.
Oh, okay. So, okay. What is your address?
Park, P-A-R-K.
Yeah.
Look.
Tinsel. Nice.
I mean, is that not Disneyland?
Perfect for you.
Park, half a block away. Look, it's the Gizwiz.
It's covered in tinsel. Now, explain, what does those 3 words have to do with your location?
Oh, okay. So what they have done is taken, I said to the guy, you've taken the world? And he said, yeah, we have like 3 trillion boxes. Everything is divided into 10 by 10 foot squares. And when you go on the app, it will tell you what that 10 foot, the address of that 10 by 10 foot square is. And it's a way to find somebody very easily. Now, he told me that in some high-end cars, I think he said the Mercedes, you can just get in and say to the navigation system, park, look, tinsel.
Yeah. And if you go to the website...
What are your 3 words again?
Glow Walnut Nasal.
Well, then the car's going to... No, the car's going to laugh.
It's going to say... I'm sorry, I can't take it. You can find out what... The thing is, it's, as you said, 10 square feet. So the back door of our office would have a different address, and I should probably see what that is.
Oh, yes.
And by the way, it's not just in English. They have What 3 Words in many languages, too.
45 languages. And sort of the interesting thing is that Mongolia has been using this 5 years as their mail system because the streets, nothing's numbered or lettered the way it is in a big city.
Same thing in Venice, Italy. Well, you just take a left at the canal, you go 4 feet, turn right at the McDonald's, and there you are.
Yeah, exactly. What canal? The one with this 3 Dixie cups floating next to a Coke bottle.
No, it's a problem. So this is, I wish this were the international way of doing things, but I don't know if this will ever become.
They probably don't have enough clout, and probably not enough people are interested in it. But if you want to play, it's then the number 3 words.com, and you can download the app.
Let's see.
Then you go on the
wait
website
a minute. Wait a minute. I've got our back door.
Oh, you got a better one?
Our back door is discouraged buck puns.
That's pretty good.
Discouraged.
Oh, that's good.
Bucked puns. But if you go there, you'll need the back door. Yeah.
Yeah. You need a plaque for that. I'd throw the other plaque out.
Glow Walnut Nasal, huh? Don't like it anymore. Oh,
no.
How about headlights, pronouns, stylists?
What part of the building is that?
That's Broadcom. That's the one next door. Renovation
next door.
Catchy Rigid. You guess you can kind of pick the ones that you like the best. Let me just see.
That's right. You could go around your building. You're absolutely right.
Oh, you know what?
You're
My
absolutely
studio
right.
is Chaotic Happier Barrage.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So if you go to what3words.com with the number 3 in the middle, you can play with the map. And then you said they have an app?
That is, the app is on Android. I got it in the App Store. And they obviously have an iPhone app also.
But it doesn't require streets or numbers or anything. It's basically...
No, you type in your own address.
Yeah.
You type in your address and it'll give you the 3 words.
But if you wanted, you
address.
could drag the map around and
yes, you can.
And take it to the beach or find a better 3 words. See what my wife's office is. Baseless staying contemplate. Let me see what your office is, Mikah. Partial listens stitching. Oh, perfect.
That's bad.
That's where he does his crochet. That's where he does his crochet. He's only listening partially. It's actually perfect for you. Perfect.
What? When he's not listening, he's crocheting.
Yes. And I'll tell you 3 words that'll get you the website. GizWizBiz. GIZWIZ.biz. That's Dick's website where you can get a link to the Android or iOS version of What 3 Words. Learn a little bit more about it. See his video interviewing the very tall fellow who was he Swiss? Was he where? I think they're British, right?
They're British. He was from London town.
Yes. I've been a fan of What 3 Words. As you can see. Of course,
yes.
I really should have sought a better 3 words than glow walnut nasal. I could have been partial listen stitching.
Well, wait, is that this current address or is that the brick house?
No, this is the current address, I think.
Okay.
Actually, let me enter it. It says, did you mean glow walnut nasal? Oh, yeah, you know what? That's actually not a good address because is that our front door? Oh, it is our front door. I see. Okay, no, it's exactly our front door.
Okay.
But if you go to the map, you'll see other squares nearby. Like I could have import icicle prongs.
Oh, I like that
or
one.
Rebel Slams Frenzy. So that would all take you roughly to the same area.
You have some nice choices.
How about this one, which is probably true? Interns, individuals yell.
Oh, that's perfect.
Well,
that's what you get for the new people coming in.
Yeah, that's the interns can have that as their address. Glow walnut nasal. I should have thought more and clicked some other links. Dick Debartolo, gizwiz.biz. Don't forget to play the What the Heck Is It contest. A chance to win an autographed copy of Mad Magazine. You got to identify a close-up picture of... I know exactly what it is, by the way. I think.
Yes, a lot of people do. So
I'm not going to say it out loud. I think I got one of these from the back of Mad Magazine when I was a kid.
Probably.
I think. Yeah. I'm thinking. Anyway, take a look at it. You could be in a drawing for a copy of Mad Magazine autographed by this guy right here, one of Mad's most famous writers, if not the most famous writer, Dick Debartolo. Dick, a pleasure.
As always, sir.
Stay out of the
giant. I'll see you next week.
Giant lightning bolts. That's his new address. On behalf of Mikah Sargent, I'm Leo Laporte. We are your tech guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Have a great geek week. Bye-bye. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy Show for today. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, TWiT, T-W-I-T. It stands for This Week in Tech, and you'll find it at twit.tv, including the podcasts for this show. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on MacBreak Weekly, iPads, iPhones, Apple Watches on iOS Today, security on Security Now. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And, of course, the big show every Sunday afternoon, This Week in Tech. You'll find it all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next week with another great Tech Guys show. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.